Evening, everyone. Mr. Pibbles here with your session recap. So let's get to it, shall we? Session 23 Recap. We defeated the entity controlling Raven's body, and Bond ceremoniously covered Raven's body in sprinkles, as is the ritual of those serving the Angel of Death. While Raven's body remained unconscious, she expelled the extension of Zubnalicor that had controlled her. It escaped in the form of black smoke and drifted away. Raven's soul was still in the far realm with Aaron Black, who opened a crack in the crystal sphere for Raven's soul to pass through and return to her realm. After speaking briefly together, Raven returned to the world of Alpharesk. Because of these events, Nixry wants to close the Farwell after her training because it's too dangerous now that she knows beings that can actually cross over from the Far Realm. Raven eventually woke up, emitting a red aura and now possesses psionic powers. Brandon changed classes and became a psionic. Her pseudo-dragon also changed to become the size of a horse. The group finally had some downtime since their training would continue, but only took up an hour a day. Lucas visited with Miss Lily and had her scry on the smoke creature that fled and found it divided itself and began to spread to different places all over the world. When asking Miss Lily what she knew about it, she explained that Zubnalicor can split and divide his consciousness infinitely, though every time that he does so, all the individual parts become weaker. The divided parts expanding out into the world that are cut off from the main body will be too weak to take over anyone, but since he can use them to gather intel, is a bit concerning. She then scryed on Kaleem to find him in a dark cavern. He had been standing over a human-looking individual in a coffin. She spied on him giving orders to a near-miser female with red spectral daggers, and shortly after, the woman disappeared into the shadows. Since many of us were lacking in funds, we decided it was time to take on the gold-level quest to slay an ancient black dragon named Penumbra that traversed the outskirts of town. Bond had scouted the area ahead of time and laid explosive traps. The morning of the task, the guildmaster dropped by and expressed his worries about our lack of preparedness. He informed us that this had almost been an entry to a platinum-level quest, and if it had been a red or obsidian dragon, it definitely would have been upgraded to platinum. We headed out and set up an ambush. The dragon landed in the bomb trap, but lo and behold, it was actually an ancient obsidian dragon, so the bombs had no effect. Well, aside from pissing it off. Penumbra raged on about how he served the Black Diamond who would punish us. Lucas and Anad teleported into his stomach and activated a wand of immovable object, and Anad cast the immovable object spell to keep him grounded. While everyone else began a raging battle, Anad poured out a poison to give the dragon raging diarrhea. Lucas and Anad were immediately excreted out in the most disgusting way. The fight continued, and eventually Anad dealt the final blow by frying him with a lightning bolt. We collected the immovable rod, and now we have a dragon to loot and a quest to turn in. We're expected to receive 10k each for this gold level quest.
You find yourself in
over a month of training with plenty of downtime ahead of us to do
with this obsidian dragon. As of where you're starting right now, it ended like 10 seconds ago. So this is like the immediate aftermath of the fight that you're picking up from. However, something concerning you note. That fire breath, the last one that went and fried Neston and Flora and went straight into the forest. Well, yeah, now there's a forest fire that seems to be picking up momentum.
I will use Control Flame, because I have that now, to try and bring it down under control.
Control Flame? Okay.
Actually, no, never mind. I don't have that yet. Never mind. I don't have that yet. Actually, I do. Yeah, I do. I forgot. Because we leveled up, so that's I got that because I leveled up.
Only Lucas can prevent forest fires.
Yeah, right?
Control Flame. I'm looking at it. You instantly expand the flame 5 feet in one direction. You instantly extinguish the flames within a 5-foot cube. Oh, man. A tree, a singular tree, is no longer on fire. That flame is still raging. And is borderline uncontrollable at this point.
Okay.
Well, oops. We killed the dragon, but now there's a flaming forest. It doesn't look like it's going towards any towns.
Looks like it's spreading everywhere. I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge just a singular direction. If you want to know the direction, then 360 degrees. It's spreading outwards. What
Well,
are you guys gonna do?
This was on the edge of town of Mistvale, right?
Yes. Well, you're right. It was on the edge of the forest, but it is spreading inward into the forest.
The forest of Nightvine?
No, not the forest of Nightvine.
I don't know where we're at. I know this was on the outskirts of town, and
you are
there's
at the
forest that got wrapped
western
into-
edge. You are at the western edge of the Darkroot Woods.
Okay.
If Mistvale is located at the southern edge,
Yes, 'cause
you're
we're all
more
looking
at
maps.
like the northwestern edge of the
Okay.
Darkroot Wood, and
All right.
Mistvale is at the southern edge of the forest.
Okay.
Duh.
I mean, unless anybody has anything to do with this, let's not get burnt alive.
Well, you're sort of standing in a clearing, so at the very least,
For now.
it's hot, but you're not. The fire's not spreading towards you.
Okay.
Because but it is spreading outwards from you.
I don't.
And at
I
this
guess-
point, it would be very difficult to make your way through the forest without having to pass through the flames.
Shit happens.
I don't know how to deal with a forest fire. Is there somebody we can call or somebody we can bring in to help with that?
Not before it spreads further.
Control flame! Control flame! Control flame! I don't.
It's like trying to manage a forest fire with a fire extinguisher.
Best I can do is I can say we can rush back to Mistvale to see if they can have anybody there that can help deal with this.
How about we just?
I mean, if y'all want to send a message to someone at
I can't send a
Mistvale.
message that far. The only person
As
that
you're
could.
trying to figure this out, you also notice something. So the sun is currently towards the west, and you notice a bit of a shadow get cast as something flies in front of the sun. Before it hits you, it is another dragon that appears to be flying in your direction. However, something's not right about this dragon's flight pattern. Like, it flies and you see it'll drop in elevation suddenly before it struggles and flies back up to try to regain elevation, and it's continuing to get closer, but at a slow pace, much slower than any you would expect, much slower than that dragon approached. There's just something not right about the way this dragon's flying.
Can we at least tell what kind of dragon it is?
Give me a perception check.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm super amazing at those. Perception, go! 5.
What about a 25?
Somebody.
nah, 20 and 20 for me.
Brandon, check your messages.
Can't you just say
Ooh,
it publicly?
yay.
Why do you always have to do the private message thing?
How about
Yeah,
me?
we can't.
It's not as bad, guys. It appears to be a copper dragon.
Oh. Hold on.
Wait, is this the same copper dragon?
Different game.
Notice
Is
it
this-
has a giant, bag draped around its neck
I'm
and
gonna
underneath its
cast
arm.
message. And I'm gonna point at the dragon. Rustigal, what are you doing around here?
I'm here to save you as it
Fret not,
mortals.
Yay.
That's a long ways from Calamlux, I'm just saying.
Well, don't die yet. Don't die.
He continues getting closer, and when he gets probably 20 feet off the ground, he just slams into the ground, does not land on his feet, does not land gracefully, lands on his side and slides against the ground. Now, few things you notice. There's several holes in his wings from where they have been clearly burned through. He has severe third-degree burns covering at least half his body. He is bleeding profusely from his chest, where it looks like something took a giant bite out of him. He's in very dire shape.
Nod, quick, use the staff of dragon slaying and finish him off.
Okay.
He lands and he just reaches towards you, Lucas, and he's like, Lucas, pull my finger.
How do you know my name?
Don't worry about it. He outstretches his claw towards you and curls the rest of it in, leaving one claw or one finger of his claw
I
outwards.
swear to God, if you fart, And I'll grab his finger.
He farts as a giant gas
I'm going
cloud
to-
erupts from him, and he just goes.
All right, Nod, put him out of his memory.
Did he just die?
Can he?
Do you want to make a medicine check to see? I
Yes,
mean,
well,
you don't know.
I can't. Fantasy Grounds just crashed.
I
No
got back
way.
It
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
Roll me a 20, sir, Nick.
I got you. I'll roll me one too. Ugh. You got a 16.
A nat 16, and
Plus whatever my pluses are.
yeah, I don't think you have proficiency in medicine, so it's just gonna be plus your wisdom. Okay, you got an 18. As far as you can tell, he's not dead. He's just gravely wounded.
Is he like
Sure,
passed
one
out?
He is unconscious.
All right. Where's the
At least as
fire
far
in
as you can
relation
tell.
to us then? Because he
The
just
fire is spreading east. He landed in the same clearing at the western edge of the forest that you're standing in.
Well,
Okay.
at least we won't starve.
So here's what I'm gonna do. How far are we from Mistvale?
Several miles.
Oh, well then never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I might be able to. In the meantime, is he unconscious?
It appears so.
Okay.
I'm poking him. He's not doing.
Well, they're poking him. I'm gonna go and take a look what this dude has on him because he carried his whole bag of things and whatnot. So, like, what is he adorned with right now?
So, you investigate his bag, and something very unfortunate. It appears as though the bottom edge of his bag has been just completely singed open. His bag is empty. He lost everything that he was carrying.
Wop.
I'm gonna by the way, I'm gonna raise the dragon from the dead and control undead.
That's a Death Knight thing?
Yeah, it's a Death Knight thing. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the black dragon.
Yeah, I figured.
Control
Let's
undead.
see. You target one undead creature. The creature must already be undead. You don't create an undead with it, you just control something that is already undead.
I think I have something that allows me to create undead. If not, I need that.
It would
spell.
have to be a spell.
Alright, I need to find that spell because I need to add that to my spell list. We did level up.
Yes, you
I was
did.
gonna cast.
And
use
I'm
my-
about to add fighter to yours. Sandkit?
So I was casting Mass Cure Wounds, 3d8 plus my spell casting ability modifier, which is I don't even know.
I think you have 20 charisma, so that would be 27. And Mass Cure Wounds lets you target 6 creatures. So in addition to the dragon, you can also, if there's anybody else who's missing any hit points, you can work on that too.
I don't know what everyone else is at, but I'm at 63.
63
Neston
wounds? Yeah.
Neston and Nod got hurt.
Them too.
I could stand to take some if you
Hey
got
Gavin, I have
going
a
around.
question.
What's up?
Why is Raised Dead not on the spell list?
So Raise Dead isn't bringing somebody back as a zombie. That is bringing them back to life as they once were.
Okay, why is Create a Zombie not on the spell list? It should be.
What, create undead? It should be, yeah.
Okay, well then that's the spell I'm adding to my spell list, and I'm gonna create undead with the dragon. And then I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
cast control undead.
What you're
You-
looking for is
You
animate
realize they have to
dead.
do you realize that they have to do a spell DC and they have to pass that or else they are
It
It
hostile
only works
towards
on
us.
a humanoid. It said choose a pile of bones or a corpse of a medium or small humanoid.
Oh.
Oh, that sucks. Come on now.
Technicalities.
Technicality.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be super easy to just make an ancient dragon. Like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna have that on our team. If you could, that'd be awesome. I don't think that's gonna be a level spell you can do at level 10. That's pretty
yeah.
OP. I'm sure Gavin will give you some homebrew abilities that you do that later on, though. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin. Wink, wink. You know.
I don't know. Maybe at level 20 you'll get a Dracolich. We'll see.
All right. Well, I don't think any of us have the ability to carry a giant bronze dragon away from this fire, so he's just gonna copper dragon away from this fire. So,
Well, he just got healed. With what, 22 points of
27.
healing?
oh,
27?
so who all got that
And you
27?
do notice that when
Did I
you...
get it?
Yes,
Like,
so if you're healing
yeah.
him, you can choose 5 other people to heal.
All right.
You and
I'm good.
So
The
you
two
could go
people
like
that aren't
Neston,
here.
Anand, Flora, and Molly. You could do. Or yourself.
I'll
yeah.
take it instead of Molly or whoever. Molly's got tons of HP left.
I was like,
I don't.
I don't need it.
I'm good.
All right.
No, I mean that you would be included in that
Okay,
5.
I got
Lucas, Neston, Anand, Flora,
Well
Molly.
then, if Flora is good with that, would you take it off of Neston and Anand because they're not here, and they're fucked
Yeah.
up. they got wrecked. So
27, 34.
Cool. All right, is
And
this
Flora,
dude,
I'll get rid of some of yours too.
is this dude waking up?
Yeah.
Is he unconscious?
He's still
not a number.
unconscious, but you have noticed like some of those burns did heal, but he's very badly burned. You do notice that at least the holes in his wings appear to have closed, which was likely giving him issue with his flight.
Either way, I'm gonna go get help. Somebody to deal with damage control of a forest fire, unless anybody has a way to be able to do this now.
I'll watch the bronze.
I just want to see what we can get off this.
Do you know a tidal
obsidian
wave spell
dragon.
by any chance? I mean,
Wrong character. I don't know that.
I just want to see what we can get off this obsidian dragon.
I can pour 2
That
gallons
is-
of mayonnaise on it.
hey,
That-
So
yeah,
As they go,
If someone
whoever
has
goes
a-
to get help, I'm gonna go start like peeling scales off of the obsidian dragon.
sure. Give me a survival check.
I can't.
Oh, right. So then,
Here you go.
Flora, do one for him.
Oh, okay.
A D20 roll.
I was about to do one.
there's a lot of
but it
things
doesn't
I
matter.
can definitely use from that thing, but try not to wreck it. I'm gonna go. And I guess unless anybody else can try and get there faster, I'll hop on my broom and I'll start booking it to Mistvale to go and get help for the forest fire. Unless anybody has a
Uh,
good idea.
Or
I'll be
separate
like
party?
Raven.
18.
Don't you think?
That's an 18.
Yeah, sure,
I'm
why
actually
not?
proficient in survival.
Separate
Okay,
the party.
so then I think
Give
that's
me a
like a
better suggestion.
24. Anyway, like if it's above a 20,
bam,
regardless.
bam.
So that works. So yeah, you understand that with these dragons, it takes a bit of a delicate touch
I'll take my
to remove these way that keeps them intact.
Take
But
take.
Give you a head start.
Never mind.
yeah,
Oh,
so you
actually-
begin peeling these scales off, and
Scratch that. Hey, oh, sorry, I'm interrupting. No.
and you get about, let's say, I'm gonna double this number. You get about 100 obsidian dragon scales off of this creature.
Where are you putting them
Thanks.
bitches?
I have 2 bags of holding.
I also have one, and then we have the little
Well, they are
handbag.
heavy. Each one of them weighs at least a pound apiece. I'll just say they weigh about a pound apiece. So that's 100 pounds of dragon scales.
Again, I have 2 bags of holding.
Okay. Oh my god, Milo, get the fuck out. I have a cat
How
that
heavy is
whenever
her
he wants to
circumference?
get my attention, he just starts wrecking everything in my room. Alright.
Be happy you have your cat.
So it's a cat?
Yeah, I know.
Cat doing cat things?
So, yeah.
I'm
So,
sad.
yeah, and you also know that when it comes to dragons, like, dragon materials are very valuable. Their leather is oftentimes used for, like, armor and very fine goods. Even their bones can be used to make, like, fine plate. Their heart, their eyes.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I wasn't gonna stop at the scales. I was gonna harvest this entire dragon.
I don't know how you're getting the bones. You got to tell me how you're doing that.
So I got a way
I'm
to
going
do
to
that.
skin it.
Oh, yeah, so let's circle back over to Lucas real quick and see what he's
Quick
doing.
thing, because I don't have a Nod's character sheet, but he got teleportation circle. I know that's one of the spells he knows.
Yes.
So is there a way he could go ahead and start doing that? Because it takes him a minute to set that up, and then we could just teleport back to Mistvale to go get people. That'd be the fastest way to get back there.
I thought I had something like that too.
Yeah, so Anon does have teleportation circle, and he did grab the sigil sequence for the palace for the Palace of Temperance. So,
Alright.
yes, he can go ahead and start casting that.
Why don't we do damage control? If we want somebody to stay here with the dragon or whatever, but I mean it's immune to fire. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about the body getting damaged
Yeah,
while
it's
we're
like-
trying to deal with this.
I'm not.
I just don't want a raging fire to be coming over to the town and they get caught with the pants down about it.
And then not pay us.
There's also that, yes. So why don't we get back to Mistveil so we can give them a heads up, and then we come on back and we get this.
Fine. I'll stay with the dragon and start harvesting.
It's immune to fire.
Doesn't mean someone can't come back here or come see that we slayed a dragon and then start.
It's a
Trampling
giant
on
ass
it,
ancient
or-
dragon, and he's already got 100 dragon scales. We got proof that we killed this thing.
And
True,
plus, it's
true.
in the middle of the
I
clearing.
still want the. I still want the skull.
Oh, I got you.
No.
But I'm just saying, we don't have to get everything right
And it
now, I
going
wouldn't
nowhere.
think.
It
Yeah.
ain't going nowhere.
Unless
It's
somebody's
also
going to come
in a
out in the middle.
circle of fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good way to guard it.
Deterrent. Solid deterrent there.
Just make sure this dude doesn't
I'm-
wake up and decide to take our loot. I don't know.
Teleport him with us.
I don't.
Yeah.
You can only teleport it to so many people. I don't think he's going to fit in the teleportation circle.
Not only that, it's also a size cap.
Yeah.
He's
So-
a huge creature. He's not gargantuan, but still.
So a nod. We had to play his character for him, but he'll start casting teleportation circle unless anybody has any other idea of what they want to do here.
That was my idea.
Oh,
All right, I'm jumping on the back of the.
Yeah, yours
of my
pretty much
cool
was
steed.
just a figure of spell.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm jumping on the back of my gold steed, full speed, fucking ahead. I'm going straight to the nearest town.
All
We're
right.
casting teleport. Okay.
So you jump on Aurora, and you are gone.
Why are you running?
And then the
back to town?
teleportation circle finishes after you get some distance. The teleportation circle is ready.
Why did you take a horse?
We disappear. And we disappear.
Okay. So you arrive back in the Palace of Temperance in the teleportation room with a couple guards standing by. Oh,
Aren't-
we weren't expecting visitors.
All good.
Oh, you're the
fire,
ones.
Hey,
Yes.
we
uh,
need damage control. Get next tree. There's a giant fire going on in the forest.
From the
Really big.
obsidian dragon that we killed.
Like knee big.
I'll notify the headmaster and the Heroes Guild at once. As he says, as he storms off, one of the other guards stays behind and says, "Right this way." As he sort of leads you over to Nixie's room, and luckily, when you are in Nixie's room, you notice that the guildmaster of this town's Heroes Guild, whose name you still have not gotten, he appears to be there as well. And as soon as he sees you walk in the room, he turns around. You're alive.
Yes,
Okay,
we are.
Before we
sir.
do
Should
anything,
I didn't know it was on there.
I want to make an insight check on this dude to see if he actually knew what we were dealing with.
Yeah, sure. Make an insight check.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it with him. I'm gonna do one, two.
Name.
I get an extra D4 on these things, so let me see. Well, there's an 8,
Ouch.
and then
Insight
a
on
3.
That didn't
So,
even drop in. So
yeah, so that's 12.
Oh, that's a nat 20. That's
Oh.
a 26. Ah, suck ass.
So, why are you rolling as Phoenix?
Oh shit. My bad. I couldn't grow a person. My B.
We'll still
Hold
take
up.
the nat 20 anyway.
Okay.
So, what you gather is he's definitely surprised to see that you're alive. As far as you're not detecting any sort of
Okay, so that would have been
apprehension.
a +7 actually to that nat 20.
Dude, you beat a 20. It's fine. It's not going to be no difference in the result.
Okay.
So he's definitely surprised to see that you're alive, but you don't sense any deception from him. Not really. You sense that he's definitely shocked. He could tell he expected to never see you guys again.
All right.
But you don't believe he tried to deliberately deceive you.
Okay.
You imagine he was just relaying to you information that was given to him.
Well,
Okay.
first things
So-
first, the dragon has caused a massive fire. And then after that, me and you need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Talking to the guildmaster?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one that said that we were gonna have a tough time with this guy?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
So I
Um,
kind of take him
Well, we
by
got
like
word.
I put my arm around him and I'm like, buddy, you ever ever what? Damn, I can't
Nice.
find the words. Yeah, thanks. You ever doubt us again?
You
Yeah,
Yep.
you ever doubt us again, bud? And we'll always prove you wrong. That was an obsidian dragon, by the way. And I walk off with the group.
Good douche.
Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Let's
he
deal
stutters
with the
over his
forest
words. Let's deal with
fire.
this fire thing.
Yeah, we'll
Sure.
come back
So
to that.
unfortunately, this city is not equipped with very powerful mages, but I will go to the Heroes Guild and I'll put in some calls, see if anybody can help us. As he immediately takes off.
All right.
Also, there's a
That's what he
bronze, or
runs
sorry,
on.
there's a copper dragon that joined, but I don't think he's an issue. Just be aware.
He's
You
already
probably don't need to
gone.
try and kill him, but he's out there with the obsidian one.
You can
Really?
kill him. It's fine.
Yes, the copper dragon. He said he was trying to help us mortals and then passed out. And he had a bag of goodies, but all of his bag of goodies was
He
gone.
doesn't seem very malicious, but just be mindful.
Nah.
He's out there with the dead dragon.
He seems like an overgrown puppy dog.
There's that.
Pretty much.
One must still be wary of copper dragons. They are known to be tricksters.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
true.
I don't think you should be worried about him. He gave us some puppy.
To the
Vibes.
Heroes Guild. Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he leaves and he heads that way. And did anybody else have anything they wanted to talk to Nixery about while you were still here?
Sure, but we're dealing with a raging forest fire.
Yeah. So
Hold on, guys. Let's sit down for tea and have a conversation.
a few minutes pass by, and you're just kind of wondering, is something gonna be done? As you start to begin smelling smoke, when suddenly, once again, you notice of a darkening of the sky outside, like a shadow cast. And you notice yet another dragon fly straight overhead this town. If you would like to discern its color, you may make a perception check.
So I have been reading that book off and on, and that doesn't help my case at all.
And that's another nat 20.
Oh my god, dude! Save some nat 20s for the rest of us.
What the fuck? Oh, what the hell?
So,
Dude, how
Bon
do you
and
know?
Molly, you definitely notice this is a silver dragon that just passed over this town.
Okay. Cool.
And it is
Silver
a
dragon.
large one at that.
Dude,
That was
It's-
awful shiny, guys.
What?
As-
Yeah.
As this
Shiny.
dragon flies up over the skyline, hovering over the forest, as you notice it inhales, and this icy blast just erupts on the ground. Right about this time, you notice it starts saying these incantations when suddenly this huge bolt, almost like a meteor of pure ice, just darkens the sky and crashes towards the ground as it shatters, sending frost and mist covering this entire area. As all it leaves behind is just a smoldering sizzle, as the fire has been dealt with.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that takes care of that, I guess.
It does.
Nice.
What a roller
If you guys
coaster
would
of
make an
emotions.
Arcana check for me.
Yeah, because that's a 2. Hey, it's still not a bad roll. 18? I'll take it.
I got a 22.
That last thing it did, the first one was obviously its breath. The last thing that it did, that was not a breath. That was a spell that it cast.
It cast or someone else casted that was writing
It
it?
looked like it cast it. It's hard to tell, but you didn't see a top of it.
This is an interesting.
Turn of events.
Before, as the dragon hovers in the air, it almost looks down at the town, almost like you feel like it's looking directly at you. Before you hear it mutter another incantation, and it... gone.
Counterspell.
No.
Are you actually counterspelling?
No.
Okay.
Come
I mean,
on.
you can if you want
great.
to, but...
I'm not gonna piss the thing off that just helped us. There's no reason to do that.
Don't be a douche.
Oh, actually, no, that's right. I used my good die for that lesson because I can guarantee I counterspell, but no, I can't. Anyway,
What had happened if you would have counterspelled it?
it would have just stayed there. Would have been able to teleport out.
Yeah.
Probably been very
true.
pissed after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to do
Oh,
that.
fucking douche.
Roasted the
back.
whole town.
Yeah.
So I guess I missed the ice dragon, silver dragon blowing ice on people.
Yep. Well, not people, but the forest. You probably got caught in the crossfires.
Yeah, probably. And
You're
if you were
probably
there, I
dead.
would have told
Yeah.
you since you were flying back on Aurora. Thank you, Aurora. I was gonna say Nova. Aurora. You definitely would have noticed a gargantuan silver dragon fly across your path and pass dangerously close to you. Your heart might have skipped a beat, which means I guess it would have beat like once in a minute.
If he had a heart.
And suddenly he's living. What? It brought him to life.
I would have, seeing that, I probably would have actually, like, U-turned as quickly as I could and went back towards that direction.
Towards the silver dragon or towards the obsidian?
Towards the silver dragon.
Or
Aw.
Oh well,
Obsidian.
it would be in the direction of the town anyway. You wouldn't have really had to have U-turned. It would have passed behind you, headed in the same direction as you.
Yeah, I would've tried to speed up.
I kind of look at Lucas. Well, let's hope our obsidian dragon doesn't get frozen.
Are there any more dragons coming?
Yeah.
Yes.
For
So
real.
you see another shadow beginning to. No,
Oh my
just
God.
kidding.
Dude, that's three
It's
dragons.
a
in
dragon
one day.
party. Woo!
Dragon Dungeon.
Listen,
Oh my God.
Don't
I already
tempt.
have,
Don't
already
tempt
have a
me.
dragon. I already have a dragon, guys, so fuck you.
I will give you guys an entire dungeon of dragons. You
Oh
will
my
have the
God.
Dungeon of Dragons and Dungeon and Dragons.
As long as I get a pet dragon at the end of it, I don't care. Because I have a book on dragons.
Yes, you do. So, moving on. At about this point, the guildmaster runs out, whose name you still haven't asked. Runs out from
Do you have a
the.
name tag on, Gavin? Just keep bringing that up. Do you want to just... Hey,
I'm
excuse
sensing.
me, sir. What's
I
your
just checked
name?
my notes and noted that he has not told you his name and nobody has asked. That's all I'm saying.
We
so-
all know that because it wasn't in the recap. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Hold
So-
on.
Yes, because
One
Sean
second.
takes pride in his
Yeah.
recap.
Excuse me, Guildmaster. What's your name?
What doth be thy name?
Arcanos, why does that matter? What just happened?
Arcanos.
So another
It's in the
dragon,
notes.
another dragon flew over and iced over the entire fire.
Perfect, keep going.
You did.
How would that happen? I only had the chance to make one call.
Yeah, we're that good. This is why you don't doubt us. We're just that good.
So you are claiming that you are the reason for the dragon's appearance.
Yeah, we made a few calls for ourselves and we got a dragon.
Give me a deception
come.
check.
Ooh, I'm proficient at that.
Would hope so.
Be a 17. I was about to be a 17.
Hold
Oh
on,
my
hold on,
God.
hold on, hold on. Oh, a net 20.
luck point. No, because I'm making it. I'm the one talking to him. Luck
Yeah,
point.
you're not the one that said it.
Luck point.
I was just gonna chime in, and because of the fact that we are good, you should not doubt us because we got this.
All right, I'll let you know, Nick. You got to beat a 20. Hey!
Alright.
He says, "Really? You're that well connected that you just have a gargantuan silver dragon at your beck and call? Color me impressed."
This is why you don't doubt us. We already took out that obsidian dragon, and then we got that coming in. Come on now.
What other
doubt it.
resources do you have? If you have connections to call and like
Speaking
that,
of-
your
speaking of the
network
Obsidian Dragon.
must be vast.
You do owe us 10,000 gold
Well,
pieces a
let's
piece.
cover
Already-
that
are you
a
there?
bit. Hang on. Hang on. So let's have a discussion while they're figuring out the ice dragon thing, because I don't want to get too tied up in a bunch of different things here. And I'm gonna look at the group here and be like, I got an idea.
Yeah? What's the idea?
You're not there.
Are you there?
You wanted to take.
Don't
I
a
fly
would
it
have
into
made it
the
by
town,
that
man.
point.
I'd
come
say
on.
that after this point is when
Okay.
you'd see them as
Sure.
little dots on the ground. But
Oh, so you're not there.
I'm really that fucking slow.
You were
dude,
miles
you
away
had
when we teleported.
miles that you had to go, and they traveled instantaneously.
Yeah, for some reason.
This
you
is
wanted to
happening
travel
in mere.
along
This has happened in mere minutes.
So anyway, before we collect our
And my
reward,
fucking
I do know.
honesty is useless.
What?
with.
Alright.
Mad mumbling. Move along.
Okay. Before we collect our reward, one, I need to know how you got that mixed up. I'm not mad, but I do want to understand how you knew a dragon's name, but you didn't even know what color it was.
When it comes to dragon biology, these mistakes are easily made. Is it an emerald dragon or is it a green dragon? Is it a purple dragon or is it an amethyst
I'm gonna
dragon?
stop you there. I'll tell you what. It's easier if you just acknowledge a mistake, but I don't want to be mad because I don't want to burn a bridge. I think
I
we can
acknowledge the
actually-
mistake. I
I
was
think-
not the one that made the evaluation, however.
How about this? I'll. You need to give us a showing of good faith after this, because we almost. Well, I won't say we almost died, but we definitely came in a little. I don't know.
Crispy.
Unexpected.
You could say
what were
things got a
circumstances?
little hot.
Yeah. Anyway,
That was me, not the
Yeah, I got
guild
you.
master.
but that was supposed to be a platinum level quest, was it not?
Theoretically.
Not theoretically. You told us that yourself. That if it had been an obsidian dragon, it'd be a platinum level quest. You told us that this morning.
Doth it is.
And that fire was so easy to take out. You had probably had to pay someone to come help out, right?
Lost everything.
But we just had that. We just had that. We just had that.
I'm just saying,
Connection.
a gold
Yeah.
level quest was worth 10k, but you told us this was a platinum level quest.
I suppose I follow your train of thought.
So I'll tell you what. I'm going to make you an offer here that I think it's actually going to be beneficial for everybody, because I want to make something that works out for all of us here. You
You
have
wish
an
for a
ancient...
greater fee, or
Well, you have an ancient black dragon out there. Or an ancient obsidian dragon. We're not going to be able to loot that entire thing and skin it for parts. So why don't we do make a deal that lines both of our pockets? Let us have first dibs, it is our loot. But after that, why don't you and your people go out there, take it apart, sell it off, and we'll take 70% of the profit. You can have the other 30.
give me a persuasion check with advantage.
We're going to use a luck point on that one.
Shit, I was about to give you a luck point. Oh, 27.
26.
Oh, 26. Whatever. 26, 27, whatever.
He says, to be quite frank with you, I I totally understand your frustration, and I feel as though your request is actually quite modest. Sure, yes, 70% of that dragon is yours for keeps, but I feel as though with the right resources, that could have been the case for you anyway. So how about I sweeten your pot a little further? In addition to allowing you to keep 70% first dibs at the corpse of the dragon, I will also... Would you say an extra 25% to your reward sounds fair?
What would that be? Just 2,500 gold for the same thing? Because it was 10K.
12,500 instead of
Yeah, so it's a negative
10,000.
2,500, yeah.
Yeah. In addition to that, I would put in my personal recommendation for the upgrade of your adventurer status. Now, it is only... My recommendation would only be one chip in a literal and figurative pile of what it would take to make such an upgrade, but at the very least, it sets you on the path in the right direction.
I'm alright with that. That's for me, but I do have one personal request. I'm a bit of an alchemist, and I want to be able to have a means of being able to get my brand out there. And I think a Heroes Guild would be a good way to do that. Could I have your approval to be able to start selling things through the Heroes Guild?
Such as...
It's my brand of potions. I am the Brimstone Bitch. I'm an alchemist.
I can always call headquarters and ask for approval. Personally, I'd estimate your chances of success of being approved at roughly 70 to 80%. Based on your accomplishments here, I don't think I will have to negotiate that hard to get such a thing approved, and if so, I will begin selling them here in my shop immediately.
Well, I'm just one of the group, but I don't have any issues, but the rest of it is up to them.
No issues.
No issues here. I might also have a few things I could have you sell, or we can negotiate to sell the inventions that I make. And I think
perhaps
I
that is amenable.
Yeah, I think
So,
I have one.
Instead
for
of
you.
the 2,500 for me, I actually have something that I put a deposit on. Could I just have that comped instead?
How much did you owe?
I don't know.
Didn't I
a couple
have something as well?
thousand, couple 4,500. It's a little fuzzy. All that fire from the obsidian dragon that we had to deal with gets my memory a little hazy.
Yeah, I think my memory is a
Make a
little
persuasion
hazy too.
check.
I don't remember what you got.
I think it was some.
That
He
was
says,
23.
he says to you,
Gunblades?
Yeah, it was a gunblade. Oh,
I suppose I can make that work. Now to clarify, looking at you and Bon, he says, you wish to be of a network of suppliers. The Heroes Guild draws on many sources for our inventory.
I just wanted to find a reputable company to be able to put my brand out there. And I think my friend Bon here is looking for the same.
Yes,
I believe that I can work it out that you be drawn into the fold.
All right. Not that I don't trust you, but could we have this in writing?
Cough, cough,
He,
I don't trust you at all. Cough, cough.
Yeah,
He holds his hand. He holds his
But
hand
also I
out,
don't.
and in his hand just materializes a piece of parchment. As he holds his other hand in the air, you notice a mage hand grab a quill, and it starts scribbling on this piece of parchment.
Oh, that's a cool little. Can you teach me that?
What, a paper of vanishing?
Yeah.
It's stored right here in your sleeve. You just outstretch your hand and it appears. It's, you know, call it I'll throw it into the pot. Why not? It's not even that expensive. It would cost you about 100 gold if you were to purchase it.
Done for me. Yeah.
He's like, let's get it.
Yeah, you just fold up a piece of paper into your sleeve underneath the wristband, and when you outstretch your hand as such and think about it, the paper appears.
So do
Are
you
you
just have just the one strip of paper right there, or do you have a multitude?
or is our internet at that?
He goes with his 1, his 2, his 3. I have about 4 others stored in there.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
It just sounded like you
So
guys
am I
talking
there
over
for
each
this
other. Not
negotiation?
Brandon's
so.
not
I'm
very.
sorry, Flora. Was I missing anything that you were wanting to say?
Well,
think it was
one
Brandon.
partially me and mostly Brandon.
Okay.
Okay.
Or-
Brandon, you're there now, by the way. I'm sorry. You have been there since they started having this conversation.
Wonderful. Now I forgot what I was going to ask for. Fuck. Should
Something
get back
to do with your
Ow!
Death Knight?
Probably.
All right. That was my thing. I don't want to eat up too much. I'm sorry if I ate up too much time, but that was my thing. So.
Oh, yes. I have something.
Of course. Raven, if I remember the name on the contract.
Yes. Well, I know that the bones and scales are good for multitude of things of that dragon. I want your finest blacksmith to create me a double-ended scythe,
Out of Dragon Bone.
dragon bones, metal, the finest quality you can possibly muster up. Oh, and here's about, I don't know, how many scales do you think you're gonna need?
For such a blade, I'm not a blacksmith myself, but I would imagine just the bone would do. See, dragon bone is quite interesting in the fact that it can be smithed in a similar way as ingot can.
Well, good. Then I want the finest of a double-bladed scythe that you could possibly make. And then I need to speak with if you have an enchanter on call, I would like to speak with them as well.
We don't have one here, but the Magi is included in our list of networks. In fact, they are the guild that I'd only had time to place one call in to help with the forest fire, and they are who I called.
Do any of them know how to use necrotic damage? Know how to use
Metagame pigeon, caw. You speak of unholy energies.
Yes, very.
Perhaps if you are venturing into the realm of necromancy, for the most part, most forms of that are somewhat frowned upon, but
Fair.
they would likely have some mages with at least some degree of knowledge.
Wonderful. I would need to speak with them. And I would like it to be enchanted. But that is all I wish as my negotiation to the hell that we just had to endure.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, and seeing as how all the persuading you guys have already done, I'm setting the DC pretty low on this one.
Oh,
I would say.
The DC was 12, man. You're good.
Okay.
It's not hard to arrange. Just give me a day or two to make the preparations. Of course, there's still the matter of actually harvesting the dragon, which is going to be quite an endeavor.
I'll help out where I can. I'm pretty good at doing things like that.
Yes, but this is a quite sizable dragon. It will take a long time to dismantle it piece by piece.
I'm sure I have time.
How much? Because I anticipate completely dismantling that dragon to take up to a week.
I have plenty of time.
Very well. Well, I'm glad you're all not dead. As the matter of your payment, he reaches into his satchel, and it's kind of funny looking, almost like a Bugs Bunny kind of way. He reaches into this small pouch, and it's like, Don thing, as you see the mouth of the pouch begin to expand as he pulls out this giant treasure chest. So, in front of me here, this should be, let's see, 12,500 times 6. You are looking at about 75,000 gold pieces here. Do please try not to spend it all at one place.
1,200 12,500.
Knowing these guys, they'll figure out how to do it some way or other, spend it all in one place.
So you all just add.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
13,100.
Just got 75,000 gold pieces. So
how-
divide wish.
Oh, hello.
Now I can hear you.
Hey.
Well, we can hear you for a little
We
bit.
each
You
got,
kind
we
of
each,
zoned
we
out.
each just got 12,500 gold pieces
A piece.
apiece.
A total of 75,000 across the whole group of 6.
Well,
You
mine
said
is a little different.
12.5.
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
12.5k gold.
So
We sweetened the pot.
They did some good negotiating here and got some
So
good rolls.
250 pounds of gold. I don't think.
A bag of holding can hold up to 500 pounds.
Yeah, but I think my bag of holding is almost pretty capped. I'm trying to log into fantasy.
I also,
Points right now.
I know I probably should, but I actually don't really keep track of gold weight. I probably should.
I mean, I would understand that. I mean, considering Skyrim doesn't keep track of it really, they just
Yeah,
kind of like let him have it.
When we were trying to walk around with 8 million in our pockets.
Yeah. It's like, could we
Yeah,
not?
that's
when
when
we
you
have
care.
cards, could that not be a thing?
There needs to be a magic item that just holds currency. That's what there needs to
Honestly.
be.
Yeah, and they just
Everybody doesn't
Gavin,
have
it's
that.
your world. You make it.
Yeah, you might run across something like that
Hey,
at some point.
Kevin, can you open the whatever the shop thing? So, because I'm gonna go and grab my thing to put in my inventory. The cloak of the dragon mirage.
The Mistvale shop.
Yeah, whatever that.
Let me get that parcel
I'll
out
need you
here.
to drop it in whenever I actually get in. I opened up Fantasy Grounds, it started updating, and then the whole thing crashed.
Yeah, it's been doing that.
Yeah, Mistvale Shop, because now we all have gold to spend. Oh, and
Don't spend it all in one place. Like, we're gonna.
hey Gavin,
What's up?
I'm gonna give the guy the rest of the 1,000 gold that I owe for for Flora's gunblade.
Got a
That we bought.
gunblade?
Yeah, we put it on layaway forever ago.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I love gunblades. Okay.
We put all this stuff on layaway before y'all even went into Nightbind.
Yeah, we only owed like 1,000 gold on it left.
Why do I not?
Yeah, I'm so sorry for coming in late, everybody. But
Oh.
You're good.
I don't know if this has already been acknowledged, but Brandon's headset looks hella cute.
I know. Isn't he just adorable?
Do you want the rundown as to why he has my headset, Tony, real quick?
No, I'm okay. Just let me bask in this real quick.
Holy
It's just screen
Get
save.
closer, baby.
screen
You gotta get
print.
closer.
Derp.
Yeah. So, how much money had you already put down on this gunblade? There's a reason I'm asking, if you remember.
I think we put
like 500 down.
Yeah.
It was in like 4 shops ago.
Okay, so this was like an uncommon
ago.
gunblade.
Yeah.
But no, it was
Or
no,
was
it was
a
more than-
rare?
It was a rare gunblade.
So it must have been a flame tongue then.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was a flame tongue.
Okay.
That's...
Pulling out some Silas here. Okay.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, so it's not at this shop. That's why I was confused, because I was looking through the shop list and I didn't see it
It's not at the shop.
anywhere.
We put the down payment at another shop, and it was going to be delivered to wherever we wanted it to be.
That's
after we paid
right.
for it.
Okay. So yeah, you hand him the other 1,000 gold, and whenever you hand it to him, he was like, suppose you could spare another 10 gold? There's a reason I'm asking.
Delivery charge?
Just, you'll see. Either that or a platinum piece.
Here's another 100 gold.
I just need 10.
No, I literally give him 1,100 gold and just here.
Yo.
Thank you. He waves his hand in the air as you notice this like spirit-looking creature show up holding a box as he places the 1,000 gold in it. Pulls out, does his little wrist flick thing, pulls out another piece of parchment, puts it in the box, waves his hand again, and it disappears. And after a few moments, another box appears, and he goes, "Here we are." Reaches inside and pulls out this flaming gunblade. Here you go.
Foxy,
Gimme.
here you go.
Gimme the pretty.
I'm gonna hand it to her. Oh, and here. This is another 1,000. Actually, here. Hold on. 1,500
Oh.
gold because there was one being crafted for me. It was a double-ended gunblade.
Can you post the shop
Double.
for me?
Yeah.
No, that was before.
I don't remember a double-ended. I remember her gunblade.
I also went and got 2 gunblades. That was after hers.
Yeah, he did.
I wanted a double-ended gunblade created for me.
How much money did you put on that?
I put a 2,000 on that one down because you said it was going to be like 3,500 gold.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to homebrew that because that's not a thing. I can make it a thing, but
Of course you can, Gavin. It's
Homebrew?
a homebrew world.
You're welcome, Kevin.
yeah. So that's why I'm lagging because Tony's logging in. Okay.
You're welcome, Gavin.
Yeah. So was that back in?
That was back when we were doing in the sewers.
That was back in Falthansia when you guys were in,
Yeah.
that was back in Precipice then. I
Yep,
remember
Precipice.
Tony wants to know if he should do his level 10 stuff.
now. Yes, and
I didn't
I'm
want to interrupt the
working
conversation.
on getting you that parcel. There you go.
Thank you.
And
hey,
Flora,
Gavin.
I'm gonna drag that gunblade into your inventory.
Mucho appreciated.
Gavin,
What's up?
I do not need that weapon this session. You
I
can
know.
wait You can wait a few weeks.
Yeah, and I'm going to.
Wait a few years.
Well, no, because then the campaign will be over. I only plan on this being a 2.5 to 3 year campaign.
Oh,
So,
I thought we were about to fight the big bad and end it here in just a bit.
the first arc. There's 3 arcs. So, all right. Yeah, so as far as what you guys have left to do, I told you guys this is going to be more of a knocking things out, so the next session we can just jump right into it. So, you've done all your negotiating.
Okay.
Got all your gear.
I do want to get with the group in Nixery together at some point.
Okay. Not a problem.
Yeah, I need to talk to Nixery too, but that's
We'll do that now. We'll do that later. I need to convey some information to Nixery and everyone else here. We have a moment.
and I need to ask a lot of questions.
Well, now's the time. You guys heading back to the Palace of Temperance?
Sure. I mean, after that, I'm gonna go pass out because I'm pretty. It's been a day.
Oh, and as you go to walk away from Arcanos, he, looking at the direction of you and Anand, he goes, like he's sniffing. You smell terrible.
The dragon shut them out. Literally.
I.
You don't want to know.
Well,
We smell like victory. Is what we smell like.
Burnt victory.
sure.
And Taco Bell.
Does someone know?
He doesn't know what Taco Bell is.
Can someone cast Prestidigitation on them? Because I can't stand them anymore.
Me and Anad are the only 2 people that know prestidigitation. I do.
And you know, you cast it on yourself, and I mean it helps, but you know, it's like spraying Lysol in a sewer. You know, I mean, you know, this is some magical shit, literally and figuratively. So you know, like,
I think Anad will use his, what is it, orb of washing. He's got something
That's
like
right,
that
he
that
has
actually
that.
washes himself. Yeah.
okay, you're better off, but you're gonna You're gonna need do some
I
laundry
wanna
and
know
take a
what
bath
random
at some
obscure
point.
magic items he has.
You want to ask?
No,
Oh,
I'm
for
just using-
Anand. You're talking about for Anand.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't mind asking him about his weird and freaking crazy.
I thought you were talking
magic
about the
items
guild master.
No, I just meant like nothing. Never mind. Anywho,
he has.
Okay.
Hey, guild master. What other kind of
Yes.
crazy, funky magic things do you have that you don't sell in the shop?
What are you implying? Everything is available. So, provided that you are a member of the guild.
Oh, come on, you can't say you don't have some special things hidden away in a box somewhere.
Guys, not everyone's a drug smuggler.
I'm not
Don't do
asking
too
for
many
drugs.
Don't do too many
Don't you-
drugs.
Yeah, don't
Or
get
just
too
popped up
addicted.
all wide-eyed.
Drugs.
Don't get too addicted.
Guys, try not to get too addicted.
Drugs.
I'm not talking about
I would
drugs.
like to. Never mind. I would like
I
to
want-
think Flora was that girl. No, I'm just kidding.
I want the rare magic items that you wouldn't sell to anybody else.
I'm telling you, I
Contraband.
sell everything to everybody that's a member of the guild.
Well, what drugs you got?
Why do you assume I have drugs?
Everybody has drugs.
This is a legal establishment. Everything we sell has been reviewed and approved, and then finally, after a long system of checks, put up for sale.
Okay, what?
And I kind of whispered. Whisper. I guess you know what? I speak to Raven in Draconic and tell him if you want illegal shit, I can help you out with that.
I mean, all right.
Now, do you have any other questions, or are you gonna ask me again whether I have any illegal substances?
Do you have any drugs? And I'm just gonna walk off.
No.
They're good for you. As I'm gonna pull out a cigarette and hit it. Do I feel anything?
Yeah, I mean, you still get the same sensation from like smoking a cigarette as you always have.
Oh, okay, good. At least I can still feel this.
You can still feel everything just fine. All in all, you don't feel that different. You just get a little hungry every now and then in a way that you've never felt before, and you notice that your appetite for food isn't quite as ravenous.
I slug Raven in the arm. Hey, do you feel this?
Yeah,
Yes, you feel it.
I touch Bond on the shoulder, and I siphon.
If you're doing that, you got to give me an unarmed attack.
Yep.
So was there any clarification if we can, in this 45 days, we can actually try to learn a new proficiency, like with a kid?
You can, but I'm forgetting the exact number of days that is listed in the DMG, but it's a lot. But you can get yourself 45 days worth of training. I think it's something like 200 or something like that to get a new skill proficiency.
I'm
But
pretty sure
this will not be the last extended period of downtime you will get. So
I don't want a skill proficiency. I just want a tool.
skill or tool, either one. They work the same on the same rules.
But is that in the DMG or
Pretty
the other
sure
one?
that's in the DMG. I can look it up, and I don't remember the exact number of days,
'cause
but
I know I'm not 100% sure on the DMG, but I know in the other one, what's the other one called? Xanathar's, there is an extended list for tools and stuff like
I still
that.
hear it, but ultimately, in the long run,
Tool proficiencies.
okay, so yeah, getting a new skill or tool proficiency, it's actually in the player's handbook, not in the DMG, takes 250 days. I'm shortening it to 200. And it costs 1 gold piece per day as you are doing the training.
Okay. So
And you have to spend at least 8 hours a day on that skill to study it and research it and get trained on it for the entire 200 days, spending a gold apiece each day.
So Sean, so we don't bounce off of each other. Well, Brandon's doing a thing. Never mind.
Could have swore
Yeah,
that
so
was
I
in
think-
the DMG, but yeah, player's handbook.
So I think he missed with a 5.
Yeah, you missed. You try to grab
No,
his
he's not
shoulder
here.
and
He walked out
ducks
the
out.
room.
Come up sooner, dude.
Oh, is he
Out.
mad that he missed?
No, he actually stepped out before that. I think he had to run to the bathroom. I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay. By the way, Flora, not saying you have to, but if you wanted to, there's since seeing as how you just got the shiny new gun blade, there's actually a feat that goes along with it that you might want to pick up at some point if you consider it. But that's if you're literally building your character around it. If not, then I would say you probably don't need it.
Okay.
Do we go to
Yeah.
Nixie?
Yes, you can go to Nixery. I'm sorry.
Cool.
This is more of a chill session, so squirrels are bound to happen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to knock this one thing out, and then I'll
Yeah.
do all the squirreling you'd like.
Okay. So you head in the direction of the Palace of Temperance, and you enter unabated. I mean, you guys have been around for several days now, so they don't try to stop you or anything. They just kind of know that you're pretty much allowed free reign of the place. You can come in and out whenever you want. So you head up a spiral staircase up to Nixery's room, and you can tell this is a day that she's not really feeling well, as she's just kind of laying in her bed, which is right next to her desk, just wearing like a thin white nightgown. And you see as you walk in, she's like holding like a handkerchief up to her nose. Oh, as she places it to the side, and you notice a little bit of blood on the handkerchief. Come in, come in. I apologize. I'm just not feeling very well today. Something you wish to discuss?
Yeah, I actually had some clarification, and I assume everybody's here because I wanted to get everyone together. I actually did a little bit of reconnaissance. I had my mentor look into something, and she was able to relay some information to me. Kaleem seems like he might have been dealing with possibly a vampire. It's a person in a coffin. And honestly, I don't know what your father looks like. So I wanted to see if this was him so we could know. So I apologize if this, brings some unsettling feelings. And I will use my new cloak, and I'll make myself look like the guy that I saw in the coffin.
Are you certain that that is what you saw?
That's what my mentor saw, and she was able to display it to me, so now I'm displaying it to you.
Let me grab my notes real quick. I have to admit, I forgot the vampire's name.
Insight check.
Sean, why don't you give that to me so I don't have to look for it?
Oh my god. Let's just look it up. Let's see. Not her. Not her, not her, not him.
Malacath.
Thank you.
Malacanth.
There it is.
Malacanth.
Let's go through all my
Am I right?
vampires that we've met so far.
Yeah, no, it's Malacanth.
We're talking about this right
Yes,
now.
that is my father. Close
I'm
the
a
door.
hero.
Yes,
shut
of course.
the door.
I was like, Oh, I'm gonna come in the room right before he shuts the door. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm late. As I shut the door.
To bring you up to
Welcome
speed,
in.
to bring up the speed, Captain. There's the vampire that was seen with
Kaleem.
Kaleem. What is Nixtry's father?
Well, I have something for that.
What is
Don't
it that you
worry.
have? She struggles in the bed and kind of with effort sits up in the bed.
Oh, I have found out I have a few more abilities now than I did before I went through the portal.
Yes, you've received the gift.
Oh no, I can also control undead things.
I see. Well, vampires are undead, so I do suppose that is handy.
I can also do a lot more, and trust me, I need to know more about these psionics, but I do not want to press you. You are feeling unwell.
So I kind of got a question, Gavin. As a reverend, doctor, psychologist, pastor, clergy person,
I'm glad to
Is
have
it-
Tony back.
is it unusual for me at this time and age, for the game time period, to have laudanum in my bag?
To have what?
Laudanum that I can give to her.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, laudanum is what they called heroin back in the day.
Oh, the
And there is
Oh.
a liquid medicine, to help relieve the
Hmm.
pain.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It
Just
was
like-
medicinal back then, in like the 1800s and stuff.
yeah,
Can
it
you give that to
was.
her after we get some answers before she goes on a drug trip?
Well, my first reaction was like, "Oh, here, take some laudanum; it'll help."
Why don't you give her some mercury too? I think that kind of helps.
I mean,
We got to get your humor
Lead.
right.
I mean,
You got
I
too much
heard-
red
I heard-
out. So
I
let's
just-
get her some
I just
tomato
wanted to
sauce
know.
to get more red in.
yeah. I mean, you know what?
Sorry,
If she doesn't
I-
feel any better, we could just saw off a limb. That always works.
You know what
Next
always
story.
works? Essential oils.
Nick 3,
Yes,
I have a
and
question.
crystals.
Yeah, sorry, I'll get back to the game. Of course.
Is there... I know you're going through a lot. Is there any way that anybody, anywhere I can take you, anybody I can take you to go see to help you with your ailments? And not our Reverend Dr. Fuckhead over here.
Well, that's just rude.
You're so
Yeah,
mean.
that's pretty rude because I have many accreditations.
Fuckhead being one of them, but you.
She says, as far as what you speak, there's anyone you will tell you there's only one cure for my ailment, and frankly, I'm not sure that I want it.
Then what is that?
Become an ear miser.
Yeah, and the whole thing, world destroying.
Well,
You could just ask your friendly Dr. Reverend, pastor, father.
What do you recommend, physician?
Laudanum.
If you think it would help,
Sleep.
It'll help you forget.
It'll help you sleep.
perhaps I'll consider your offer. Now, as to the reason why I asked you to close the door, yes, that is my father. I have not seen him since I was very young. I did not know he was a vampire.
That's good.
But yes, that's him.
Wait, you didn't know he was
No,
a
wait, no, she
vampire?
did. Never mind, she
Yeah.
did know he was a
You
vampire.
told us to go hunt him.
Yeah. Yes, that
Sure
is
it
my
is,
father.
like-
Sorry, I'm getting my notes mixed up. So she says, yes, that is him.
I would have grabbed Oreos, but I didn't know where you put them.
Well, on that note, he was also dealing with somebody else that I think we're going to be dealing with here in the near future. Do you know who this person is? And I'll make myself look like the female near miser with the red spectral daggers. By the way, I also
Looking at my
wanted Norn
notes
to
as
be
to the
here
person's name.
because Norn's
Norn-
going with us to the thing.
He's predisposed. I can have him be fetched if you would like, but
Yeah, it was my intention for him to be in this meeting since he's going with us to the Underdark.
last I understood, he was at the tavern.
I will go get him. I will be back momentarily.
And as far as who you were, that woman that you likely saw, my intel states that this is a woman by the name of Meliana. She is his his agent who works in the shadows.
The lead assassin?
Lead, yes, his lead assassin. She works in the shadows. She performs espionage and eliminates key targets. Frankly, you are lucky that she likely does not know where you are, or you might fall asleep and find a knife in your throat.
Well, I do know Kaleem sent her on gave her orders, and she headed out. That's why I didn't know if maybe she might be headed our way. Kaleem tends to know where we're headed.
Well, that should be quite difficult for him to discern now, seeing as how as you now have non-disclosure badges, but if there's...
There,
if
the
I
place
had
that
to...
we got those at, she knew we were there.
Yes, because they imagined that you would probably be heading there.
Fair
Kaleem
enough.
was intimately aware of the operations of the Heroes Guild, and so he imagined that you would likely be seeking such a resource.
Fair enough.
But now, granted, I hate to put you into a false sense of ease, but as long as you are here, even Kaleem would not attempt to attack this place so brazenly. Quite frankly, this is the safest place for you to be right now.
I mean, we're going to be here for all our training anyway, so... I just wanted to see if I could get some information and make it these people aware, or everyone here aware, that apparently we're going to deal with some roguish type assassin that has red spectral daggers, and now you know the guy that we're going to be looking for looks like.
Yes, indeed. Now, I am sorry. Was there? Oh, that's right.
I come
Norn.
back.
She rolls her eyes.
I come back dragging Norn.
He stumbles back through the room with you with a mug full of ale. What is so guards darned important to pull me away from what I was doing?
You know, the forest was on fire, then 2 other dragons came by. For being a member of the best heroes guild around, you really seem to be just checked out on this whole thing.
As I grab his mug kind of away from it, and now we've got a conversation to help held as I kind of start drinking it behind his back.
As you take the mug away from him, he goes to reach towards it, but then gets interrupted as he just releases this giant, thunderous burp of epic proportions.
Swear. There's nothing like chivalry anymore. Yo, men are so disgusting.
Well, get on with it.
Well,
You're an
we get
asshole.
to the end of this conversation, but thank you for finally joining us, Norm.
Oh,
The story. This is what Malakanth looks like. I've already done some reconnaissance to find that out, and this is apparently his lead assassin, but he's sent out to go on a mission of some kind that I was able to discern the other day.
her skull looks rather smashable.
Well, now
Or
you know.
maybe that's just you. I don't know.
And I'm back to me.
To be fair,
Feels good to be able to do that again,
that's
guys. I'm not
metagame.
gonna lie.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I feel like that would
He
be
says-
metagaming.
Well, since this was the end of the conversation, I suppose I am no longer needed.
Hey,
I guess
Gavin.
I'll have to make you.
What's up?
Would I know that a person of that abilities might be able to disguise themselves as someone else?
What, you mean like the assassin?
I guess if you
I
want
mean,
to put it into
you
technical
know
terms.
magic is a thing. As far as whether somebody with psionics would be able to do it, possibly. Psionics takes on a lot of different forms.
I got the impression from
Oh.
the way that she kind of snuck off into the shadows, she's more of a stealthy type of person than she is a disguised type of person.
Gotcha.
But I
There's
could
no
be
way to
wrong.
tell for sure. Psionics are always evolving, and they take many forms.
On that note, I would like to go and pass out because I have been burnt and diarrheaed and everything else. So I'll go take a wash and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you
Fine.
find a shower.
Come on, shall we go drinking?
more and some gambling. I would like to do some gambling too, but one
Gambling
more
and
than the
drinking.
other. Yeah, one more than the other.
You see Norn walking away with a mug full of ale, and then you look at the one in your hand,
I-
and it's like, where did he get the mug?
I was like, I took that shit. What the fuck?
Norn, we need to go to the best drinking establishment money has to buy, and we need to gamble and drink, because that is what we privateers do.
Wallowing Wombat. I'll be right there.
All right, I'm following him to the Wallowing Wombat.
Yeah, you go, and it's just all around shithole of a tavern.
My kind of place.
So, what type of course, you know how I'm going to spend my downtime as Neston. What type of like religious practices are done here in this town?
So this is a primarily human town. So there's a lot of Torm. There's a lot of Pelor, definitely. Pelor is a primarily human deity, though, obviously worshipped by your people as well. A little bit of Sune, more commonly worshipped among the half-elven residents, which are very few, but there are some.
Where's
Yeah,
the
I
AOD
mean-
love?
The who?
Angel of Death's followers are primarily focused within Primralty, within Sea Shroud, and within Darkholm.
And other cultist basements.
Well, they've evolved beyond the point of a cult long by this point.
No. The Holy Triumvirate still sees them as cultists.
Well, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything. But
They're just... It's sad. We take pity and pray for their souls.
the
Bless their heart.
stature of a label given to a religious establishment is often determined by the number of people that are a part of it.
Yeah. Cult.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Not
though.
a cult. Not a cult.
It is a cult.
The
Just like the same
Angel of
with
Death is a
Justicars.
cult. I'm pretty sure they have way more followers.
I don't think so.
Angel of
Yeah,
Death,
cool.
they've got hundreds of thousands of followers.
A
It is
cultist.
not a cult anymore.
It's a cult. But anyway,
Okay,
so
how
I'm gonna
many-
use
okay.
I'm gonna use my time to downtime, like from the DMG and stuff, for performing sacrificial or not sacrificial.
Sacrificial. Yes.
Nothing was
Sacrifice the
DDD all along.
virgins.
Only puppies. Sacred rites. Performing sacred rites, and
Sounds cool.
religious services from Xanathars. So those are the two that I'm gonna do, religious services and stuff.
Hey guys, good news. We
Yeah.
don't have to cut the session short today.
Oh, why Uber?
Oh,
Her friend's dad is picking them up.
Nice.
nice. Like it.
Like I want to play
Well-
games together.
Oh, nice.
For my downtime, I'm gonna spend a week helping them dissect the dragon.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend some time talking to my newfound conscience.
Oh yeah, you're gotcha. Old
My
Zebby
new-
there.
My newfound conscience.
Have a few chats with old Zeb.
Yeah. Oh, and then I'm gonna go through the town every day. I'm gonna find one drunk motherfucker. Like, I want him piss ass drunk.
And beat the shit out of them.
And
I'm
rape him in an alleyway.
Oh, that's rude. that escalated so quickly.
I'm gonna siphon the fucking hell out of him.
I'm just
Oh,
trying
that's
to
what
do
the kids
something
are
for
calling it
blood.
these days? Oh,
So, anyways,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Moving
siphon
on.
his I'm gonna siphon their life essence.
I'm
No,
just-
like, I actually have to do this, Gavin.
No.
Or, Tony. Like, I have to siphon life essence now.
Yeah.
so what is Flora doing? Picking
Yeah.
flowers?
Flowers and smoking weed.
And reading my dragon book.
I'm very happy about what Molly is spending her downtime doing.
The only other thing I got is doing random performances just to make sure I don't go broke.
You could make money that way. In fact, there's even There's even
Yeah.
somewhere that you can
Pit
look
fighting.
up guidelines for
Flora-
how much money you can make per day by putting on musical performances.
So, how much money can I make per day for gambling?
Gambling is
That depends on your rolls.
It's
yeah,
actually there's a thing in there for gambling too.
yeah. It's in
Downtime.
Xanathar's has a gambling chart.
Cool. That's what I'm gonna be. Some of my downtime's gonna be gambling. I'm not gonna say all of it is.
Why do all your characters gamble? Do you have a
Because
problem, Nick?
gambling's fun.
Because he's not allowed to gamble, so he wants to live vicariously through.
Technically,
D&D.
I am now. I'm allowed to gamble now.
I don't know what kind of music this is, but I really don't like somebody whispering in my ears like that. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate
Gavin.
it.
Welcome
You have
to the
to-
cum zone.
I don't.
I'm just gonna start doing ASMR for you guys. All right, just.
A user has disconnected.
All right, so I looked up how you can gamble. All right, so.
Hold on. Let the
Hold on,
whoever.
wait. You gotta go
someone
to
before me.
carousing. You have to go to carousing first.
Do-
That's what Flora
do-
wants to do.
Yeah, do Flores first, and then come back to me.
The percentile dice, you get a 1, you go to jail.
No way.
All right, let's get to Flores.
Yeah, so I'm
Flora,
looking up
what you doing?
carousing. Here we go. So, carousing. Let's see here.
Oh no, maybe I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, I think I am too. Downtime, carousing, gambling, and fighting. Anybody want to be a pit fighter for 45 days?
I mean, can I be?
Sure.
That'd be hilarious to
I got other things to do, but if I could be like, that'd be my alter ego. I'm working on potions during the day, and I'm a pit fighter at night. I'm
Oh.
about it.
You guys froze up. Oh no. Okay. All right, here we go. Carousing. Okay. So let's see.
You want to be a duo
Character
pair?
has made a hostile secret.
What?
Duo pair. Me and you go like tag team and pit fighting. We can be like a wrestling duo. Put on like little masks and everything.
Man.
Damn.
I love how Kale's like, ha
Okay, so Flora, if you're going to carouse, I need you to make me some persuasion checks with a DC 14.
Persuasion or performance?
I'll let it be performance actually in this instance, since it's a different kind. By raw, carousing is done with persuasion, but it makes more sense to do performance. So let's do that.
It's 8 hours a day to will. Yeah.
23.
Exceeds the DC by 5 or more. A character has made an allied contact group.
Allied
So-
contact.
Flora is making a cult.
I'm starting the cult, guys, apparently.
So let's see here.
You gotta find a religion y'all are gonna serve.
So, Flora, when you are out doing this carousing for your downtime, and what instrument are you playing?
Let me go in my inventory and see which ones I have.
The
You
hurdy-gurdy.
have all of them.
The
The
guitar.
hurdy-gurdy?
The hurdy-gurdy, the ocarina.
I was gonna do the guitar.
Guitar? Okay.
The
So,
guitar.
as you're standing out in the streets and you're performing this song, this nice beautiful ballad on your guitar, you notice this woman, this high elven woman, walk by you, and you see that you've grabbed her attention. She's wearing fine robes and is adorned with very nice jewelry, and she's actually very beautiful as well. Long blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and she walks up to you and puts she let's say she drops about 100 gold into your guitar case. We'll say 10 platinum, actually. That would be a little more feasible. And she drops a business card into it that it has a sort of sigil sequence on this business card. I'm literally making this up on the fly, but I think I'm doing okay. So On this business card, you see it has a name on it. That name says Lyriel Lorasalin. Arcana Tech.
I'll bow and do like a little like bow spin as I'm playing.
Okay.
I didn't expect this to turn into a huge thing. I was just looking to make gold.
This backfired.
Port
Not
mission.
necessarily.
I have no clue what arcane tech is, so I'll.
Arcana Tech. This is a
Th-
book thing. You know Arcana Tech. You're from Falthansia. Arcana Tech is the major developer of magical technology for the entire continent of Falthansia. They make cars, they make weapons. It is a mechanical empire of a business.
Oh.
Oh, so got it. My family's a competitor.
Yes, actually. Yes. That would be Black Helm Industries' greatest competitor.
Screw you, Gavin.
I thought you hated your family anyway.
No, I don't hate my family.
Why'd you go edgelord?
Just because I went edgelord does not mean I hate my family.
Because edgelord is just fun sometimes. That's all.
His dad's a dick, so he's rebelling against his dad.
No better way to rebel against your dad than to write on all of his stuff.
All right. And what about my gambling, Gavin? Or did
Alright,
she
let me
want to
go
do
up
more
to
rolls?
Gambling. So here
Or did
we...
she do more
Oh.
rolls?
I have no clue what else.
We're
to
just
take.
gonna do that one for now. We'll get to the other stuff later. So, all right. So if you're gonna gamble, you have to stay in the same location for the entire period. And okay, usable once per year in each settlement. I'm gonna say it's usable once per year in a settlement. If you just wipe the floor. If it's not that, then all right. So it takes a week for you to accrue the listed resources from your gambling. So
Divine art.
check dice modified wisdom insight or tool proficiency. Okay, so I think you are proficient with at least some kind of gaming set, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, give me a charisma roll because this is and add your proficiency to it. This is for your poker face. That's why it's like charisma.
Yeah. Oh, great. Charisma's so high, guys. So... Oh, wait. So do I do the charisma save or ability?
Check. The one's on the left side.
Okay. Wow, okay. I'll do a luck point.
Okay.
We'll say that. I'll do more.
I'm gonna use this for when I misfire. No, you're not. No, you're not. They're too good. Man. They're too good.
Well, to be fair,
Luck points are up for everything. You can't just use it for that, man. Trust me.
Oh my god, it's terrible. Okay.
So I didn't see what your roll is, but I do
It's a
see there's
9.
also modifiers depending on what type of settlement you are in. I'm going to say this is a small city. It's either a large town or a small city. I'm going to say it's a small city. You get a +2 to it for doing your gambling in a small city.
That makes it at 11.
All right, what are the DCs for this? Roll a complication. Roll me a D6. Tell me what you roll.
D6. 1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
So, I'm going to say this. Even though you didn't even roll that well, you get some winnings. We'll say you get about a 10% return. I'll just say you bet like 1,000 gold, so you get like 1,100 back. So you make 100 gold, but as you're gambling in the Willowing Wombat, the guy, it's this half orc who's sitting across the table from you playing this game, and you see he grabs the table and overturns the whole table. I saw that, whelp! You are cheating!
No, you were mistaken.
Begin to see the other patrons also stand up, and they are not a nice-looking crowd.
Now. Please. He was not stealing. I watched the entire
Cheating!
thing.
I saw you slip that card from underneath your sleeve!
Hold on. Relax. Have a seat. Here's a round. Wench, can I get a drink, please? Thank you,
Make
dear.
a persuasion check, Raven.
Especially now that my charisma's a 20 because I leveled up. With the proficiency in persuasion. Oh, no! Ooh, that hurts!
As you say this to him,
I can use a luck point on him, can I, to make him reroll?
No, only your own rolls. He says
no,
to you,
because there's one thing that
When
you can make
somebody
it
attacks
might be
you.
another character.
If
Yeah.
somebody
Never
attacks
mind.
you, you can make a reroll. That's the only time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he says to you, you know, I could go for a drink of your blood! And he's gonna make an unarmed attack at you.
Okay.
Oh,
Let him hit me.
That is a 20.
He hits me.
Okay, you take... Let's see, what would his strength be? You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as he just clocks you in the face.
Okay, hold on. I need him to... I'm just using a spell point. I need him to... Him and everybody within 30 feet of me to now make wisdom saving throws.
Okay, well, you know, Bond's within 30 feet of you, but you already said you're doing it, so Bond, make a wisdom saving throw, as
doesn't
does everybody
count.
else.
He's an
He
ally.
doesn't? Oh, okay,
ally.
I know what you're doing. Gotcha, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do one roll because I'm not doing, like, 20 rolls. Maybe I should do, like, 5 and take the average, because I'm not gonna say they all just pass. Oh my god. So, these are the 5 rolls.
oh my Jesus. Yeah, as I yell bar fight and then I dip
So,
out.
Three-fifths of these people aren't deterred, as now this place is just in an uproar, and you notice Norn, as this happens, he just... He grabs another bar stool and just spinning around, not knowing who he's even about to hit, just breaks it across the nearest person's skull.
yeah, Bond's ducking out. He's as people are trying to swing for him, he's just ducking and just get it out of there.
You scoop all your money off the table,
Yeah,
and throw it in
I do.
a pocket in your shirt.
Yeah, and then on the way out, if I see somebody just knocked over, I pickpocket them.
Okay, give
Gavin.
me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
What? Disadvantage? This is a
You're
whole bar
doing
fight.
this as
is
a
the whole
bar
thing.
fight is going on, and you're trying to leave, and everybody's in motion.
Okay.
I am not. I'm gonna do this after he... I'm gonna see him do this. I'm gonna do this after he does this.
Okay.
This is not shooting somebody. This is me shooting it in the air.
Gotcha.
Oh God.
And I am using the gun blade.
Oh, dude, why you gotta do this shit? Come on. You just shoot guns everywhere. Come on. With this character, the last one, what the hell?
Oh, shut up! Don't even. But all right, make your disadvantage roll, Nick.
Oh, that was a 20! What was a damn 20? One of
You
them was a nat
still-
20!
You still get a plus 12 to your... Oh
I
my
know.
God. Yeah, you just snatch this dude's purse off of his belt. He doesn't seem to notice, as you almost sarcastically toss it in your hand once before dipping out. Yeah, he had... He had 70 gold in there.
Nice. I love it. Oh. And I'm just like, every penny helps as I'm walking away from the bar.
Alright, so how many people does my gunblade attract that I just...
What are you trying to accomplish by doing this? Are you trying to
I'm
intimidate?
just... I've been trying to intimidate the entire crowd to shut the fuck up.
Then give me an intimidation check.
Alright. Oh look, I'm proficient in that too. That's a 26.
So literally, it just grows quiet as like the closest person standing to you is like holding somebody by a throat, but him and like that person he's holding, he doesn't release his grip. They just like look at you. Another person is like holding up a bar stool, about to smash it onto this person's back, and he just kind of it's like pauses in place, and all eyes are on you.
My eyes are glowing red. Now, let everyone go. Sit your asses down. Continue your drinking. And I swear, all of you are going to pay the bartender and you're going to split it evenly among everybody of how much shit y'all have just broken. Do
You hear
y'all
this
understand me?
This one little like pipsqueak human who's like hiding under a table. It's like, I didn't break anything.
Then leave and run quickly.
He grabs his bag, and just.
Gosh.
Now, bartender, how much damage and how much in gold does this damage would you say it cost?
It's hard to even tell. 2,000.
Alright.
Your shot. Including your shot through the roof.
Pony up. Now.
See, everybody just start putting gold on the table.
Thank you. Now,
Alright.
I bid you all adieu. And I will just walk out, gunblade on my shoulder.
Alright. So we're going to circle around to the people who are waiting to do other things. But yeah, that was good. Alright. Anybody else waiting for me to finish that so they can do something?
Well, I still have my 2 weeks, but we can
Yeah,
do
I
that
know
later.
you do. I just want to make sure I get around to everybody.
I know.
I got stuff, but mine is boring. So
You have that laundry list. Yeah, we can handle that out of game.
I got rolls. I got posts to make. I don't know how much of the 45
So
days
for
you want to do.
that, yes.
Well, I have to do
So
the
I'm
laundry
gonna
list
say that you
before,
can
that's
go
why-
ahead and make you can make a potion a day during this time, provided you have the funds, like you probably have the revenue and the resources to do it.
Well, so I wanted to try and do that part beforehand because the potions are based off of me getting the shopping list.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I'm
That's
trying
what
to
I'm
think of
thinking,
how
man.
to
So let
handle
other people
that
do
in an
things.
expeditious manner.
yeah, that's why I sent you the thing. I was trying to knock that out.
Yeah.
I tried.
And I have it up right here. It's on my screen.
Yep.
We
We can get back. Let other people do fun things before we bore them to death with that.
Okay. All right.
I will say, real quick, how many things of the cool paper thing did I get?
So it works with any paper you put in it. You got a little wristband. You can put call it whatever you want. It's a wristband of spontaneous paper. You
Got 'em.
fold paper into it,
I'll call it a
And-
pocket rocket.
whatever you want to call it, so you know what it does. And if you
It's my
wave your
paper
hand
pocket.
like so, a piece of paper pops out of your little wristband thingy that you had folded up, and it appears unfolded and unwrinkled in your hand.
Paper pocket rocket. Got it. All right. I need to buy a jeweler's kit since I now do jewelry stuff. However much that costs.
Yep, jeweler's kit. That is. So jeweler's tools. Oh, dude, those are 2 gold pieces. Yeah, just subtract 2 gold pieces, and here
I
you
can
go.
actually afford that this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that leaves me at 999. There we go. And super last thing to make my stuff easy, I need to get paper and whatnot to add a spell to my, not my spell book, but my spell gem. It's a level 1 spell.
So, do you have the scroll already?
I do.
then you don't need to get paper for it. It just consumes the scroll and stores it in your gem.
Oh, I thought so I'd like inscribe it in there.
I mean, you do. It still costs the same. It still has all the same value or whatever,
Okay.
but...
Then I'll take the time to do that, so now I have another wizard spell.
Okay. So, I'll go ahead and just give you 5 pieces of parchment. There it is.
Five pieces of parchment. Nice. Moving up in the world.
Yep.
Alright, that's it for me until we're ready to do really boring things.
Okay. Molly, you would like to go purchase some lumber and begin working on your carving, right?
Yes.
All right,
I'd like
let's
to
see
whittle
here.
away.
Just looking up a gold value for some of these things. All right, so how much does for starters, if you want, you need to buy a set of wood carver's tools. Those are 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
There's the tools in the chat.
Don't forget to add, you had another 10,000 gold.
Already did.
Okay, yeah.
So would you like to buy any like figurines to sort of base it off of? Like, you know, you have your wood and then you have the figurine and you're going to carve and try to match it or anything like that.
May I suggest
No, I'm
the
gonna freehand.
fat, what was it? The fat statue of
Aaron Black?
Aaron Black. May I suggest that one?
All right, so there's no actual stock item for wood. So I'm just going to say that
The found
You-
item I mentioned.
you get it's going to cost you like a gold a piece for just like a bundle of wood that you might even use for like firewood if you wanted to. In a bundle is going to be like 5 logs, right? So we're looking at like 2 silver a piece.
I mean,
So-
couldn't Molly just go cut down her own tree?
She could. But are you going to do that? You just want to go start
that
cutting
would-
down trees?
Yeah, it requires some scavenging. I'm just whittling. There's no huge projects or anything.
Okay.
I'm just,
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
scrap.
I didn't know if you were making a totem pole or something.
We'll tell you what. I'll go with this one
We're not that good.
right here. You get for 10 gold pieces. That is 50 witchwood logs. Which witchwood also happens to be a material component for the dancing light spell, but that's not what you're using it for. We'll say each one of those logs weighs about a pound apiece. And you now have wood carver's tools, which all that comes with. It comes with a little hammer. You have the little chipper thing, the little wedge that you put down against it as you beat it with a hammer to... Yeah, it's pretty much what wood carver's tools is. As well as the little, like, sandpapery thing for smoothing out the wood. And you start messing with that. So if you're spending 8 hours a day on that, then you get 45 days, or 45 points towards your 200 points needed for full proficiency in wood carver's tools. And once you get to 100, I will give you half proficiency. So, okay, we got that. And that's what you're using your whole time off. You're just making little action figures.
I'm
for-
whittling away freehanding. Just trying to carve.
Okay.
Like we're gonna start
Are-
with like lump number 1 is just a ball. Let's see if I can get anywhere with the ball. Oh, it just crashed again.
Okay.
Yeah, disconnect from Adventure Grounds.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Hey,
So,
Nick.
like, are you
Oh, sorry.
are you proud of these carvings? Do you go show them off to anybody in the group?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
What were you gonna say?
Hey, are you
Please?
still, like, not able to look in Discord?
Hold up. I can. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Well,
I looked at. You're gonna what? I'm on Discord. I can look in Discord. Oh, you're texting me something. Okay, cool. Y'all can do what y'all want.
Let's see. Who have we not gotten to? Tony. So, what does all of what you're doing with your downtime entail?
Religious services. Really? I mean, I just want to
Is
go
there a
spend.
table for that I can look at?
Probably. There's a table in Xanathar's.
I'm trying to make sure you guys have more downtime in this campaign as opposed to the first one, because I know I almost never gave you guys downtime in the first one.
Yeah, I know. Aaron couldn't make shit that he was supposed to make.
Aaron
Yeah, I
had a
hope
lot
you
on
give
his
my
plate.
artificer in your game more downtime than I gave yours in mine.
Yeah,
I apologize for that.
It's okay. I only had, 10 pages worth of shit that everyone wanted me to make.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't
examples
think
of
I ever asked you
downtime.
to make anything for me.
Well, that's because Velashers didn't like Aaron.
Oh no, I meant Dorian. Velashus
Okay,
didn't
so
like anybody.
in order to perform religious, I found the table. In order to perform religious services, there are a few requirements. For one, the religious services that you perform have to be at the temple of a deity that you serve. So for this instance, it would be Pelor.
Or I serve 5 different deities.
I know that, but only one of them has a presence in this town, and that would be Pelor.
Neston's a polygamist?
The entire civilization.
He is a polytheist, as
Yeah,
is the
the
rest of the
entire-
civilization.
all the
No.
polytheist. All of the Twilight Elves from that town. They're all. I thought we went over this.
You did.
Yeah, y'all just don't remember nothing. Y'all
And that
listen
town
to
is
me.
Mesterim that you're referring to. Mesterim.
Yeah, y'all just don't listen to me.
All right, so you make one check per
As we
week.
ignore you
So
entirely.
technically, you
Anyway.
have 6 weeks to do this.
Okay, well, I'm trying to log back in.
Okay. So with each of these checks, which accounts for an entire week, if you roll an 11 or 11 through 20, then that gives you basically one of the people that you perform this religious services owes you gain favor with that person. And they owe you 1 favor. On a 21 or higher, that person owes you 2 favors.
Hello.
Is
We're
it
just
a
gonna keep-
person? Is it a person or the deity?
Let's see. Make 1 check with a total of 11, 20, granting 1 favor, and 21 or higher,
'Cause it
granting 2
says
future favors.
A favor in broad terms is a promise of future assistance from a representative of the temple. It can be expanded to a task of the temple for help in dealing with a specific problem in general political or social support. To reduce the cost of cleric spellcasting by 50%, a favor could also take the form of a deity's intervention, such as an omen, a vision, or minor miracle provided at a key moment.
So
This
you're
latter
gonna-
sort of favor is expended by the DM, who also determines its nature.
yes. And so what we're gonna do is, after you log back in and you make these checks, we're gonna, in your actions, in your spell tab under powers, we're just gonna give you a mark for favors, and we're gonna give you them equal to how many that you have. Anytime you get helped out by one of your gods, well, specifically by Pelor, you use one of those favors. Anytime somebody representing Pelor does something for you that's beneficial, that also one of those.
Okay. Do you want to just make the roll for me? Because it's taken a long time to.
Yeah, so for some reason, the table I'm looking at says it uses your charisma modifier as when you try to garner favor with a religious establishment. I would think it would be wisdom, but it takes your charisma.
Well, because I have to be presentable to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my charisma modifier is. I think it's like 10 or 12.
Well, and you guys are logging in, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything while you are. But you know what? We're going physical dice. You know what? Magic the Gathering dice. Technically,
Now,
it's not.
do I still add my religion proficiency bonus?
I'm going to say it's going to be a modified religion check. It's going to be religion that uses your charisma instead of wisdom. So your proficiency bonus is +4, I believe, right now. So that's actually a 21. So that's 2 favors. That is in between an 11 and a 20. 3 favors. 4 favors. Do you think you have a charisma of 14?
I don't know. I can't look at my character sheet.
I can't either. Here it is. Okay, so
My
that
charisma's
one's
13.
that one's a failure. So you're up to 4 favors right now as of your 4th check, 5th check, 5 favors, and 6th check, 2 favors. Okay, so you have 7 favors that you can get from either your god or members of your religious establishment, and that can take a multitude of forms. I will tell you when something will count as a favor, and you will erase it. Should be pretty easy to remember 7, but even still, we're not going to do it there, but I'm going to type it into your notes tab. I'll put it under bonds. I'll just say...
I put it underneath feats. Favored by Pelor 7/7.
7 religious favors I put in your bonds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll add a descriptor to that later.
For 45 days. Well, technically 42 days. I don't know if you're picky about the 3 days that's left, but
No, I'm not. But yeah, I mean, that's literally like. And also, at some point in time, I need to go restock on some herbalism supplies. I need to make more sleeping medicine for what's her tits and
what were the ingredients of that medicine?
it was already something that I made. So unlike with Sean, you just I tell you what type of potion I want to make, and you just make me deduct a gold cost.
Right. Okay.
Because
so
it's even though we have the same proficiencies, I get the easier straws.
yeah. So for each of those
Fair
sleeping
enough.
potions, we'll just say it's gonna be the cheapest potion price. So 100 gold. And with the 3 days you have left, you can make 3 of those. So subtract 300 gold, and you got 3 more of these sleeping potions.
And I'm just gonna give
good
them
for a
to,
multitude of uses. It's
I'm
not
just
like
gonna
you.
give them to Nixry.
Okay. Yeah. So
He
you would just
spends
inform
a little
her.
gold and gets this thing. I have a shopping list with like 35 different items on it that I had to look
I
up
know
and
you do.
find.
Yeah. I still got my poison though.
Yeah. So this is the kind of thing where you would just tell her, take a sip. You know, you don't drink the whole thing. You just
Yeah.
And that's how they used to
tablespoon.
dose things. Just like this, a swig of that.
Yeah, I would just give her all 3 bottles to help her sleep at night, and
Okay. So that is
300 gold.
yeah, and that is probably lasts her a month, maybe 2, if she takes small enough sips.
Okay, and just to resupply, so like some of my healers kits and stuff is down to like let's see, one of my healer kits is at 8 of 10, my ointment's at 18 of 20. How much you think it would cost just to like get all that stuff back up?
So for another healer's kit, that's 5 gold pieces. For your ointment.
Yeah, I don't need a full kit. Full kit's 10. I just need 2 uses back from it.
Then I'll just say that. Okay, then that would be literally a 5th of it, so a gold piece, and you max it back out.
Oh, okay. So 301. And
yeah,
the
and then for
ointment.
Keoptim's ointment, if you're crafting it, you do so for a 1/3 of the cost. So that's just going to be about like 35 gold pieces.
Okay, so I need to deduct 136. 336. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I told you, Sean. As far as crafting gear, I always said you craft gear for a 1/3 of the cost of the item if you craft it.
Does anybody else want any like healing potions or anything like that made? I can make healing potions.
I'm down to 1 healing potion.
Or like, so, yeah, like
You've
healing
sort of
potion.
used up most of your time there, Tony. Though, like you spent 8 hours a would have
Well, yeah, I know, but I can still buy
an
material
hour
for
in the
it.
pool and then like an hour each walking back and forth. You can, yes, you can buy
Yeah,
materials
I
for
can
healing
still
potions.
buy materials, and also another thing is, there was a potion that I bought, and I bought it so that way I can make more of them, but I don't see it in my inventory, and I cannot remember what it was.
I don't know how to help you there.
I guess I did. Oh, if I don't have it in my inventory, I guess I don't have it.
Yeah.
It's okay. So actually, at least one of these for each of our party members. The potion of restoration. I just need enough materials to make those. So
Okay.
I need. How many members do we have in our party? 7?
6.
6.
Oh, 7.
So
Yeah, it is 7.
I need to make 7 of them.
For potion of restoration. Yeah, there it is. Potion of restoration. Character who drinks this magical green fluid in this vial gains the following benefits. You are cured of all poisons and diseases. One effect reducing your maximum hit points is removed. So a potion of restoration costs 400 gold pieces. So we'll say in the few hours left each day, sure, I'll say you would have had time over the 6 weeks to make 7 of these potions of restoration. But it's going to cost you 135 gold pieces per potion.
Okay. And I also need to make 10 healing potions. So I just
Let's
need
do
the
this
ingredients.
one at a time. For the healing potions, that's all you're going to have time. For the potions of restoration,
No,
you
I
can
just
make
need the
them,
ingredients.
and then that's everything.
I just need the ingredients to make the healing potions, so I
Yeah.
can make them later. You said 175?
135 times 7, that's 945 gold to get 7 potions of restoration, and then that is 100% of your accounted for.
Yeah, the only thing I need is ingredients to make healing potions.
Okay, so a healing potion. I'm looking this up now. Bear with me. Sorry, guys. So potion of healing. How many supplies to make?
We could just do it in a gold value, and I could just add like X amount of healing potion ingredients. Requires so many days.
Yeah, but I'm saying because I'm gonna price it based on that. How many are you wanting to make?
What? I don't know, 10. Let's just say 10. Enough ingredients to make 10 of them. I know it takes
Okay.
like a day per one, but
It
I just need.
does. So to make 10 of them, that's gonna cost you in materials about 170 gold.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 7, 6, 4. I am down to 12,594 gold.
All right. So now you pretty much just have the money left over that you got from that contract, which is still a pretty decent amount.
Oh, well, I mean, I also have platinum on me as well.
Okay.
Got a bunch of platinum too. But yeah,
All right.
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
That
so
has to be it. That's everything.
no, I just wanted to do that little bit of shopping, and I mean, I wasn't even expecting to be able to make the potions of restoration. So thank you.
Well,
What?
the way I figured you had about 4 hours each day unaccounted for. So you could have made some progress, I guess, over 6 weeks.
Okay. Um. Yeah, that's that's it for what I want to do. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
So the whole time we're having downtime, probably everyone else, unless they came to seek me out at a religious service, probably wouldn't see me for a month and a half.
Well, in this world, it's just a month. A month is 45 days.
Oh yeah, well for a month, yeah, nobody would really see me. Although if they were doing some pit fighting, Molly and Lucas, I would definitely go watch.
Are you guys gonna do pit fighting? No, that's
so
right.
me and Sean talked about that. We're
Okay.
doing the tag team, baby. We're
Is-
doing the tag team.
Is Molly just gonna go cheerlead?
She's doing wood carving.
She's
Whittling?
wood carving. She's
Whittling?
whittling.
She can whittle
Yeah.
and watch the fights.
No, you don't want to see that. Hey, Sean, he's coming back. All right, so he'll be able to elaborate more. So yeah,
If I have the
They-
time, because I'm gonna do the potion stuff and whatnot, but I figured like at least one evening a week or something like that. Me and Bon are gonna do some
Yeah.
underground pit fighting, and I will
Gonna do some
say
pit fight.
I'm gonna make us matching masks, and we're gonna have different. I'm going as El Fuego.
oh shoot.
Not
And
Trash
Bon,
Man?
what are you going as?
Trash Man.
Um,
El Pollo Loco.
Yeah, I'm the trash man. I go over on the ring and I start dumping trash. No, actually, if we're talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia references when it comes to Bon, the reference most applicable to him is, anyway, I started blasting.
You know what?
So
Um,
it's
I got
El
it.
Fuego and El Pollo Loco.
No. Right, because he uses a gun. I got a good name for us. We'll call ourselves Trigger Fire. I'll be El Fuego. You be Finger Blaster.
yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's go. That's it. It's gotta be
Alright,
that.
so you
That's not a name you want. You
so
don't, you don't
to-
want that, Nick. In a couple of years, you'll understand that you don't want that.
I know. But
so
El Fuego
you act like a
and Finger
15.
Blaster. Together, we are Trigger Fire.
all right, so making this make sense in an RP standpoint, but criminal contact feature, you discover that at about 1 a.m. every night, there's a underground to the death pit fighting ritual that, well, not really a ritual, that this underground pit fighting ring located in the sewers underneath Mistveil. And you're like, whoa. It's about happens
That's
at
what we do,
right
which
on
is
the
like,
dot
whoa.
of
I know Kung
at
Fu.
1 a.m. every night.
All right.
So are you doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
If we
Yeah,
got the time, I
getting
said I'm not
Lucas.
pulling away from my alchemy stuff, but we got the time.
Yeah, and
I'm doing it.
I'm also still gonna do some tinkering.
Okay. All right.
So this is
now
a
you gotta
little
whip
side
out a whole
gig.
underground pit fighting thing on the fly.
So
Fucking
you find this pit, and the music you're hearing right now is being blasted as you walk in the ring, right? No, never mind. Not this music.
This is not making my fantasies heading.
Fast techno. All right, come on. It says now playing. All right, here we go. This is playing. And the crowd is absolutely going wild as you see these like this Goliath and this half orc just duking it out in the middle of this ring. Just they punch after punch. You see blood splatter onto the ground behind them after each punch. And by the end of this, you notice that this Goliath is just not looking great. As he reaches down and the half orc grabs his head and just whoop, bam, whoop, just makes him eat brick over and over again until he is just conscious. Everybody starts shouting. He's declared the winner. And you see a attractive-looking half-elf female who is standing behind a counter with a book and a quill, and there is a line of people waiting to speak to her.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just go to the front of the line. We're trigger fire.
Okay,
Who
the
gives a
guy,
fuck about
the
the
guy at the front
motherfuckers?
of the line tries to punch you in the face, Shiziki, for cutting.
Shiziki. Okay, hold on. I gotta
Or
get
not
the character
Shiziki,
sheet.
I mean...
We're gonna
I
change
mean-
it up, guys. It's about to get real.
I mean Lucas. But he rolls a nat 7 as he just stumbles past you and just still trying to look tough. Back of the line.
I was looking at him with my red glowing eyes. Sit down. In fact, I suggest you go back to the line. And I use suggestion.
I'm just gonna start hitting on her.
This is not a.
You're not
very-
there. Or
this is not a
unless you
very
followed us.
Yeah, are you following them? Are you gonna observe?
Yeah, I had to.
Okay, okay,
my
cool.
chiropractor called me.
Okay.
I had to leave.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, this is not a very wise individual. As you see his eyes glaze over, they glow for a second, and then the glow fades, and he just.
What?
All right.
Nice,
And,
nice.
She speaks to you, and look at my handy dandy table of names here. The name's Marith. I assume you wish to register? She's about like 5.5 feet tall, like short blonde hair, pretty blue eyes, wearing this like tube top looking thing, bunch of bracelets and stuff down her arm. She has like 6 piercings in each ear.
Not register you to my bed.
He's not
You-
with us.
So, can I get your group name?
We are trigger fire.
I see, and your stage names?
I'm El Fuego.
I'm Finger Blaster. I can show
I
you why I
see,
get
I
that
see.
name later.
Now, I will just have you sign this waiver here. Do note, in the event of your accidental death, it is certainly a possibility. However, it is frowned upon to intentionally try to murder your opponent. But if it happens, it happens.
Sure,
sweetheart.
I signed El Fuego, even though it doesn't look like because I've never signed the name before in my life. Yeah.
She takes it
yep.
and puts it in the registration pile. Okay, you're all registered. I will, in fact, how would you care for going next?
W.
Next, I'm down.
Let's do it.
All right, so your opponents, they are going to be called. Let me think of a name. They are the Dirt Digglers. So if you would just make your way over to the ring, you are next.
I had to write these names down in my notes.
This
The
is
Dirt
so
Digglers.
stupid, by the way.
This is great. This is amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go.
So I'm
Alright,
actually gonna walk. Is there a bar?
There is a bar
I'm
filled
gonna
with
walk
a
over.
multitude of the drugs and the alcohols too.
Of the
I'm gonna
drugs.
walk over and grab a really fruity drink. And
It's fruity.
a-
You
a
got
glass
yourself
for
a
me.
Cosmo.
no, there's 2 of them.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
got
go.
yourself 2 Cosmo, a Cosmo and an Appletini.
I'm gonna go hand her Cosmo or Appertini, sweetheart.
Thank you. She says, taking it from your hand. No one's ever bought a drink for me before. I'm gonna go ahead and have you make you a persuasion check. We're not RPing the whole thing because it might be awkward.
It already is awkward.
Make a persuasion check for me, and since you brought her a drink, I'll give you advantage.
I was about to say,
Oh.
you know,
Yes, with
At a
advantage,
shady
give me
club, a
second.
shady person is giving them a drink.
Yeah.
Listen to the song.
Give me a second.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. When she
So
said, when you
Fantasy
brought her
Grounds
a drink.
crashed again for me and him at least.
Oh,
You
jeez.
stop trying to push the door open. Oh. One second, guys.
You just
Hold
want
on.
me to do it for you?
Nope, I'm gonna do it. I don't like you rolling for me.
Okay.
I can roll
Yeah.
for you.
No, hold on.
Okay.
You're good?
There it is. All right.
Double 13s.
All right. You stay true to Bond's stage name. And yeah, things go well. All right.
And Nick, I sent you something. Just
You
a
made me
heads up.
forget to blow out my incense and almost burned the whole stick. All right.
And Nick, did you hear me?
What'd you say?
I sent you a message, so just have it in your
Okay.
pocket.
All right. Cool. Okay. Cool. Hold up. Knocking shit over here.
All right. What was you guys' fucking group name again?
Trigger fire.
All right. You hear yourself called in. Give me some attack rolls with advantage.
Well, first when we show up, if we get caught out there, I'm gonna grab finger blast your shoulder, throw my caper at him, and we're just gonna teleport right into the middle of the stage.
And everybody starts cheering.
So what is the ring? Is this like a wrestling ring?
This is like a cage match.
Yeah. All right. So what are we doing? How's it going?
All right. So in front of you, you see this. So seeing the dirt digglers come out, this like Earth Ganassi come out with this fucking gnome sitting on his shoulder as they just raise their hands up and spin in a circle, and then he throws the gnome at you. Give me some advantage
Get what
Axe
now?
with advantage.
with whatever attack you would likely be using.
I'll just paralyze both of them.
Okay. So he throws the gnome at you. We're just gonna RP this, and it gets paralyzed in the air. And instead of grabbing you like he clearly meant to, instead he just bumps off of your chest and lands on the ground like.
Okay, so I pick up the gnome, right? And I like literally like by his head or by his hair. I freaking start like wailing him like a fucking and I just throw it at his partner as I charge at him.
Okay, what do you do when you charge at him?
Well,
So I
actually,
charge at him.
I got. Are you throwing the gnome at him?
Yeah, I'm throwing the gnome like directly at his partner.
I'm going to do a thing.
I know you're gonna do a thing, and that's like, and I like as I'm doing this, I'm shooting two guns up, and like I'm like my gun finger is just up in the air, like you, kind of
like
the signal.
So,
Bam!
as the gnome is going through the air at him, I'll drop the paralysis, and I'll snap my fingers, and he turns into a whale.
As the gnome collides into him, as a whale, it completely crushes him, and you see a bloody puddle underneath as the whale rolls over him. As the whale keeps rolling, crashes through the edge of the cage, and lands in the sewer water.
Trigger fire!
And the crowd absolutely loses their fucking mind. Still alive. Some of them got crushed by the whale. That's okay.
After seeing this one show, Neston never goes back to watch another one.
So, if we want to fast forward, I just want to say we build up a reputation in underground pit fighting.
You do. In fact, you can add that to your character notes. You now have the trigger finger. Now has a reputation in underground pit fighting in Alarak.
Oh jeez. Oh.
I'll add that to my aliases. I am also a Fuego.
Finger blaster.
So how much
Trigger
money do we
fire.
make from this?
So I'll say from this you would have gotten. I'm gonna roll a D100 and multiply it by 5.
Oh.
410 gold pieces
That's not
that you
bad.
get
I'll take it, yeah.
Each or like we got split?
each.
Oh, let's
That's
go.
not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad. 400, you said? 400
410.
and 10. Nice.
410.
Yeah, it is.
All right, and you just can't find Raven anywhere. She's just she has disappeared. And for some reason, the girl that works at registration, she's not there either.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, we are. We're going.
I felt like her seducing gives us the extra money. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, now there's nobody standing registration.
I haven't gotten an email yet.
That's not how trigger finger operates there, Gavin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just how trigger operates there,
Okay.
Gavin.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move along from the obnoxious techno now.
Okay.
80.
I think that was absolutely amazing. That was fucking great. I just fucking start swinging around the note. It just toss it. Oh my god.
Oh, and
jeez.
by the way, the unfortunately his Goliath did. But she said you weren't supposed to try, but if what happens happens.
Oops. I would feel like Nested would try to cure one of them, like go in and try to like
Nope, he just leaves.
stabilize.
He's like, well, I'm okay. I'm done with this.
He could have almost would have been Nested been sitting around where the whale fell through.
It's like y'all invited him one time to like, oh yeah, hey, watch us. It's like a friendly wrestling competition, and then like he sees a whale and he's like, yep, I hate all of my friends.
He brings a whole sermon to it.
Hey, Gavin.
What's up?
That was stupid.
It was, and actually, based on
No, that
your
was awesome.
activities, thank you. And actually, Raven, based on your activities, I'm actually turning to a certain page in the book for the first time in homebrew rules, namely this page. Where
Yeah, you got gonorrhea, my friend. It's alright. I have something for that.
So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh, you're immune to disease.
Yes, I am.
Never mind.
Would that make
No
his
saving
girl
throws.
technically a
doesn't he have to-
necrophiliac?
I mean, he's not technically dead.
She's not technically dead.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's lesbian on a lesbian. I was about to say, does he have to roll to if he has a child or not?
No, because
Yeah, it's lesbian on lesbian.
Yeah, that's not how babies are made. At least not yet.
I realized that.
Gavin,
I thought
you.
that's you.
My wonderful. Okay, so I don't care about the first week of like the dragon because I know that's gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah.
It's the second week I'm worried about.
Yeah. So let's go through your downtime activity because I think we still haven't circled around to you yet.
Nope. I haven't
let's-
done my
let's
what
do
6
you.
weeks.
Yeah, let's do you. Everybody else has
Alright.
been pit fighting and training stuff and gambling and getting kicked out of bars.
Well, my first week was collecting the dragon stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to roll survival checks for that or what.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know how to put a weight to a dragon femur, but let's namely the survival check. Let's go for now is just see how intact these bones can be after you get them.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my god. So that is over a 25. So wow, okay. Yeah, these bones are in pristine condition. I mean, you could Like, you could construct it in a museum with how good these bones are.
Now, I'm literally all I wanted was to help them out, collect the stuff, take our 70%, and
Yeah, so you get the dragon's skull. You get the both of the dragon's femurs, if you want to note this down, because I'm
Yep.
not going to.
hold on, give me a second. Let me pull up my notes page.
Yeah.
Skull.
Both of its femurs.
Uh-huh.
And you get its spine, including the tail as well, but that's technically also part of the spine.
Yes.
And then they're just going to take the arms. But you get the rib cage, too.
Okay.
And you look at that rib cage and you think, I can make a good weapon with those.
Yep, and I'm gonna hand him to the ribs and go, scythe. And the femur.
That's pretty fucking metal, I'm not gonna lie. Making a weapon out of a femur and 2 ribs. I'll get it commissioned for you. It might be quite pricey.
Really, is it? I killed it. And I helped you.
Well, yes,
So-
but to get the work done, you of course are supplying all that. I'm not speaking like exorbitantly so, but maybe $1,000 for the labor, as I have to find a specialized craftsman.
I completely understand. And if you also can get it enchanted, I'll pay for that too. That's not a problem.
What sort of enchantment were you wishing for?
Enchantment?
Something on the darker side.
I see.
Enchantment.
I will enchantment. Enchantment. I will. What is that from?
Dragon Age.
That's right.
What city are we in?
You are in Mistvale, the small city / large town of Mistvale.
What page would
You-
that be in?
Mistvale. That is gonna be on page.
Enchantment.
Mistvale is on page 77. I think I'll turn there too.
I'm gonna go ahead and just close Fantasy Grounds. I don't
Well-
think there's anything else on there I need to do.
I very muchly appreciate your help for this. And this was a week worth of wonderful work. We did very well at getting all this.
Yeah, and as far as what your weapon does, I'm gonna need the next couple weeks to homebrew that. But I'll give you something good. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a very rare, without a doubt. It'll be a very rare quality, and it'll definitely do some necrotic damage.
Awesome.
And I'll try to come up with some other nifty things to make it do too,
Okay, cool.
more utility wise. But yeah.
Yeah, and then the next week I'm pretty much just gonna go we're not near water, are we?
You
There's
are.
a
Yeah,
river.
there's
Yeah.
that passes through.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go sit next to the water and I'm pretty much just gonna meditate for a week.
Okay.
Trying to communicate with what maybe my once god was and my now new conscience.
And this is very sad for you. You try to commune with the world serpent, and you just don't get anything. No response at all. It's like the world serpent's not even listening.
Well, I guess I pissed you off enough. I'm sorry. Maybe one day we'll meet. But as for you, new friend, as you want to call it, your presence is here and not necessarily wanted. So shall we have a talk?
For a moment, you don't get any response. Until before you, almost not really even sure whether it's physically there or just manifesting itself in your vision, You see this shadowy orb, only about this big, begin to float in front of you as it shifts about, and this time there's like not even any eyes. There's just a grinning, toothy mouth on this floating shadow of tendrils.
So you
You
decided to
called?
show. Yes, we have lots to discuss.
Do we?
We do. I will let you know this is my body. This is my soul, or what's left of it. You have no control here.
I do not desire it for now.
No, you will never have control. I see my grandfather put you in your place, and that is where you shall stay. Do you understand?
See, the brilliance of the situation here is that I don't need to control you, and regardless of this illusion of free will that you believe that you have, it matters not. In the end, you will play into my hand and you will do exactly as I want, whether you even know that you are doing it.
Of course, sure I will. Because see, here's the thing. My family has a long legacy of dealing with little shits like you. And so it be. You will be dealt with in time. Because I do
Understand
not
what I
believe-
am, do you?
Huh?
He said, you don't truly understand what I am, do you? You're
I'm
claiming
just
that I will
Fox.
be dealt with. You claiming that you can deal with me would be like claiming that you can prevent the rain from falling. Sure, even with your magic, you might be able to prevent it, but eventually the rain will once again fall. I am a natural force. I am change incarnate. You can no matter deal with me. You can no better deal with me than you can with the setting sun.
I tell Fox.
Listen,
I've never even seen Naruto.
Damn it! Really?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. My father has dealt with you more than once, obviously. Or my grandfather has, and he pretty much squashed you like you were nothing but an ant on a pile of stone.
And yet here I still am. To use your ant reference, it would be as if you were attempting to exterminate all ants. It can't happen. What is it that you hope to glean from this conversation? I'm growing bored.
Why? Why? Because there's more than just my grandfather opening a crack in some orb. Why am I still here?
Because I needed you. I've already
Hmm.
answered that.
Why do you need me?
Well, I needed a vessel. And it just so happens that your goals align with mine.
And what might those be?
Oh, those are not for me to tell you at this time. I do not wish to alter your course. You just keep going on exactly how you have been. My goal is to sow chaos. You sow chaos. So just do what you do best.
Ah, I see. You know, all you had to do was ask and be nice about it, and maybe we could have worked something out even better, and you wouldn't be pieces scattered across.
It is no matter. I will spring back. I always have for billions of years.
Once you start gathering more of your pieces, maybe we should talk more.
Oh, I do believe so. I'm not this monster that you believe me to be, sure. I represent something unpleasant, but a necessity, nonetheless.
I have, dear. If you've known me back in my past, they used to call me a monster.
Well, then perhaps we have something in common. Perhaps. Maybe that is why I chose you. He says as he almost like starts like he looks at his tendril and uses the other tendril as he's like picking at his tendril. almost like he's just kind of half listening.
Well, obviously you're bored, so go on. Do what you wish. I'm still pissed at you that I can't talk to my god.
Well, you go ahead and continue to be mad. I'm not sure how to help you.
Either way, off with you. I'm done with you.
Farewell, till next time, my new friend.
She's just gonna stand up, dust herself off, and for my final 3 weeks, I guess 4 weeks.
Do a number of things. Like you could even just work on a skill proficiency or a tool proficiency if you want to.
I don't really need either one of those.
Then you could go try to earn some money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to earn some money.
All right, how are you doing that?
I don't even know what ways to do that.
So there's a whole list of things that you can do with downtime activity. So you can carouse, you can try to make, you can try to establish contacts, you can try to craft something, you can engage in crime, anything from robbing to anything like that. You can gamble, you can do pit fighting, you can just relax, and by relaxing you can use that to overcome diseases, any degree of exhaustion that you have. If you have a reduction to your maximum hit points or reduction to a stat, you can use relaxation time to overcome that. You can perform religious services. You can perform research to try to gather information. You can try to make your own spell scroll using a spell that you know.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
I'm gonna go try to make more. I'm gonna go try to make more contacts, and I'm going to try to gain more knowledge on people coming back from the dead, and also my newfound friend.
Okay, so you're gonna carouse for starters.
Yes.
All right, so to carouse takes an entire week of time, so that essentially gives you 3 checks. So for carousing, give me a persuasion check. DC 14. Actually, DC 11. It's just like super low. Oh, that is above a 20. All right, you make 2 contacts. Let's see who your contacts are. I'm going to make this random. Where's my dice? Here we go. I'm going to move past that contact because that contact is already your father. So I'm going to roll again. 9. Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, so as you're carousing, and you notice that there's a merchant train that comes through town. And they're carrying some decent goods, but nothing really magical. A lot of different food, tools, memorabilia from other locations, souvenirs, stuff like that. And there's an individual who is leading this cart. And you actually notice he has a hero badge. Same as you. In fact, well, you guys are gold. This one is a little bit different. It's sort of like a hero badge, but it has sort of all the different colors. You notice there's like a bronze streak, a silver, a gold, and then for platinum they sort of illustrate that with a darker metal with a blue outline. And it kind of represents all of those colors. And you recognize this badge to commonly belong to guild masters within the Heroes Guild. As far as where he is from, come on, fam. Come on.
It crashed.
Okay, I'll roll a d20 and multiply by 5 for my 100 then. 95. So this particular one You notice this to be a dark-skinned human individual, and this is actually a Saurian.
Oops.
So he passes right by you, and you notice he has a lot of like tribal carvings, a number of books that he seems to be selling as well, since Soria is commonly a place associated with academics.
Okay.
And he stops next to you and says, "Well, hello, traveler. May I interest you in any of my fine wares? You see, I'm an officer in the Heroes Guild, but I'm just taking some time off, and since I had some leftover stock, at least of the intellectual nature from our Heroes Guild over there, I decided I would just travel and see if I could sell any of it."
Well, I am interested in something that is not necessarily normal.
Well, we have a number of intellectual texts. What is it that you're after?
I came back from the dead.
Oddly, he's not surprised by that. Ah, I see. As far as on the topic of resurrection,
I wasn't resurrected.
well then how are you still alive?
I grab his hand and put it on my wrist to feel my pulse.
Indeed, quite slow. Again, he doesn't seem alarmed. Let's see, you're looking of resurrection of a more unholy nature. Let's see. He grabs you a book, and this book is titled The Everlasting Force. There's certain multiverse that can possibly explain this sort of phenomenon. Maybe you might find your answers here.
Wonderful, and your name?
My name is Darius.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you for the book.
Not a problem. And what was yours?
Raven Sailwind.
I see.
Black.
I find your story to be quite curious. Should you require any further information, I know my way around a few spells and could possibly get additional texts to you. So, if you have magical means of contacting me, feel free to do so at any time. Perhaps we can...
Hold my hero badge out.
What'd you say?
I said I'm gonna flip up my hero badge.
Ah, gold. Quite impressive.
You can send. We can contact, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure there's a multitude of ways. You must have some friends who are proficient in the arcane arts.
I do. But
Well,
you now know who I am, so if you have anything you want to send me, just do so, and I will repay whatever needs to be repaid.
very well, my new friend.
Wonderful, thank you.
You enjoy the rest of your day, he says as he gives you a wave and begins carrying his cart with him again, as it's sort of led by what looks like a mule.
Well, right. And my second contact, because I know what my last 2 weeks are going to be. It's not going to be talking to people.
Okay, so...
You said I had 2 contacts for the week.
Yes, so your next contact, let me see here. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so, you see a moon elven male who appears to be quite lost throughout the city, and as you're carousing and as you're... As you're clearly looking for some kind of information, this man walks up to you and he says, excuse me, I'm Exarch, Maureen from Surinnar. You can tell he's Moon Elven clearly because he has these like purple eyes, blue hair. If you could point me in the direction of the nearest dining hall.
Ah, yes. Follow me. I was going there myself.
Oh, well, perfect. By the way, Brandon, we're going to get through this. I'm going to circle back to everyone else, and then we'll do your last thing.
Okay. Raven Sailwind, at your service.
It is
kind of
a
reaches out her
pleasure.
hand.
Exarch Maureen.
Nice. So, what brings you here?
Well, I'm actually here for the purpose of diplomacy. You see, we were looking for a group of adventurers, perhaps, to possibly fulfill a contract to, our queen requires some services.
Well, I happen to know a group of adventurers.
In
I'm a part of the Heroes. I'm a part of the Heroes Guild, and Monty Crest
It's
can do
actually
things.
Motley Crest.
Motley Crest, whatever. Motley Crest can do quite a few things. We have some other plans, but I'm sure that we could make our way for the right price.
I see. If you ever find yourself over in Surinnar, if you're heading that way, which, by the way, to refresh your memory on where Surinnar is... I actually had that mixed up. He's a sun elf. I apologize. It's in the Taraski Desert. So just red hair instead of blue. Anyway, if you ever find your way towards the Taraski Desert, to the town of Surinnar, simply seek the royal capital and ask for me. Again, my name is Exarch Marine.
Wonderful. Well, Exarch, I have a question. It
Of
might
course.
seem odd, but do you know anything about... not resurrection, but the dead coming back? And I'm not talking zombies or vampires. I'm talking one heartbeat from death.
Not myself per se, but if you find yourself in the Taraski Desert, if you will swing by the royal palace, I believe I might have the contacts who could help you with this information.
I will definitely see if I can get my compatriots to go that way. For sure. But we're here. Here's food.
And it's a pretty nice place. With the district that you were in, it's a decent dining hall. You get like a roast chicken and some ribs. Okay, you're paying for his food, so we'll just say that it's just going to cost you like 5 gold for all the food.
All right, now you can swing back. The only thing I'm going to do for the last 2 weeks is read the book.
Okay. All right. I know you guys have been sitting there for a while, so back to you guys. Anything else you wanted to knock out this session for downtime activity? Trying to get to a point where when we start the next session, you guys are on your way to the Underdark.
Anything you want to do, baby? You can do more. There's like 6 weeks.
The only other thing I was wanting to do was read my dragon book more. But other than that, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot.
So you could finish your book easily in the amount of time that you have. So on top of that, I'll go ahead and say this. You have finished the book. From this point forward, I'm going to give you advantage. So try to remember that. Put it in your notes somewhere.
I would love to, but if...
I got it.
Okay.
You have advantage on any perception check or investigation check made to determine the type of dragon that you are dealing with, whether it comes to their tracks, whether it comes to actually looking at them, their behavior. You, all in all, have a really good baseline knowledge of types of dragons. I'm also going to give you advantage on history checks related to dragons from now on, too.
So history?
History, investigation, and perception.
All right.
So I feel like that's a pretty good payoff for... Because this was a very large book. We're talking 1,000 pages plus, but you could have finished it. And then reread it, most likely, if you really wanted to submit. I would say you would have probably had to have read it a couple times. So now Flora is the group's resident expert on dragons.
Good job.
At least when it comes to information.
Next step.
All right.
I'm a dragon.
Next step, game a dragon.
Yep. All right. Did anybody else have anything speak now or hold your peace? Start next session. We're going.
Yeah.
You had your laundry list, right?
laundry
We
list.
still have to get to
making
your laundry
potions.
list.
So mine's gonna take a minute. That's why I sent you all this stuff like ahead of time because I was trying
Yeah.
to make it
All
expedite.
right. Well,
It's gonna
since
take
we're
a
going to
while.
his laundry list, I'm going to bed for the night, guys. I will talk to y'all later.
All right, man. All right. So now we got you, Sean. Unless Nick, since you're still here, did you have anything?
Did have something, but I mean, you already got with Sean, so I mean, it doesn't
No,
matter. to this, so-
his thing's gonna take a while. So what you got?
Gotcha. So I just wanted
By
to
all means,
work.
man.
Yeah, I just wanted to work. By the way, I sent you a message on Discord, Sean. Just give us
I did.
both. Give me both of the names and all that stuff, so that way I can type it up in my notes. So I make sure I remember it. So I wanted to work on the suppressor, the spyglass. Basically, I guess starting and building my rifle. Whatever I can start on, or whatever
So-
I finish.
Give me 6 tinkering checks, each one accounting for an entire week of work.
All right. Is there if I roll like a cup, 6 die, and then I'll tell you my modifier? Do you want to?
Just do it. Just do intelligence checks. You can do it real quick by just
Okay.
double clicking intelligence checks in
Well,
your character
I'm
sheet.
waiting for my character to load up and stuff like that. So I'm in Fantasy Grounds. I just need the character sheet to load up,
Okay.
stuff like that. So. Come on, Fantasy Grounds.
So what do you guys think about like this kind of downtime stuff? Just kind of letting you guys establish sort of unconventional elements of your character, like the fact that you guys are now have a reputation in underground pit fighting.
I think it's fun. I think it's great, honestly.
I think it's
'Cause-
boring in some ways, but also not so much in others. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I
if you're gonna
made
do
5
it, there needs to be a little bit more, kind of like I did with my prep. And I know not everybody wants to do that, but it just does eat up a lot of time with each individual person. So I mean, any way that
Right.
we can kind
Yeah.
of like shorten that down, because it was a bit of like, and I'm not harping on it, but there was a lot of like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. It's not a team thing. It's just one guy person, and then a lot of people got just kind of like, all right, go play on your phone for 30 minutes.
yeah, which is why, like with Brandon, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna circle back to everybody else, and then we'll get to you again
The
for
stuff
your
we're gonna
last
do,
thing.
a lot of fun. It's just again, it's a lot of individual people's things that go on for a long time. So
maybe
Mhm.
next time there's gonna be some extended downtime, do
Well-
some stuff in between sessions.
yeah, and that was like, if you remember when, and I don't want to get too much into this because I want Nick to do his thing. When we did Nick's Tony's thing in his campaign, when we did have downtime, it was okay, guys. You guys have downtime. Submit to me what you want, and we'll just have that be your thing, and then we kick off the next session with like that already being done or happening, unless there was something that actually really need to get RP'd and rolled out.
Like
There
the
was some of that
pit
stuff
fighting.
though, like the pit fighting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's some things that sure to do, but there was also a lot of things in there of just like my shit. We could pretty much knock out 90% of that, not even being in the session.
Right.
But again, I can't tell you what the exact answer is, man. I just know.
Yeah, I
It's
got
like you and Anand are gonna have to get together. Well, Anand's character, which is
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Marte and
Marte, yeah.
get a
And
baseline of
just-
what he would have done.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to get some spells in that spells book.
Yeah,
In the spell book.
I think so too.
Yeah. And I think he's gonna miss. I think he's gonna be sad that he missed out on the pit.
The pit fighting.
fighting.
that was pretty funny,
So-
turning the gnome into a whale.
Yeah, well, he was planning on turning me into a whale.
I was gonna go
And I'm like,
full
nah.
like Mexican wrestling style. If he like jumps down to pin somebody, I was gonna fly and turn him into a whale, so he just squashes them. Yeah. So yeah, it worked out.
See, I didn't think we were gonna be able to use spells in the pit fight. I didn't
It's
know.
no holds barred, man. You use what you got.
That's why
Very
we can
true.
go as rough as we want, because nobody knows our true identities. That's why we took out stage names.
I picture like luchador masks. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Dude, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to be turned into a whale. Screw this. Come here, gnome.
All right, what you doing, man?
Dude, my character's still not loaded up. The
really?
the character sheet area is still not loaded up.
Really?
It took a minute for me.
dude,
Like when we started doing this, I loaded back into Fairgrounds. I'm loaded back in now, but it took a minute.
It's also because my internet's kind of slow. I'm running off a hotspot here, guys.
All
I
right.
just noticed something. Tony put his character's pronouns in his character's notes tab.
We talked about that before.
Really?
I kind of want to put up in my name area my
blaster?
ultimate ID.
Well, actually, I think
Put
that
it
was
in parentheses.
Tony. I think that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
Well, in the
Fantasy
meantime,
Grounds,
you want-
internet.
You want me to do it
Start
for
with-
you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can do your thing.
Yeah, do his thing.
We can start
Alright.
mine, and then whenever he gets in, just take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
All right, I got your shopping list up right here. So you have the main things you're wanting is how many of each of those potions are you wanting to do? So you've got 45 days, so you can essentially make 45 potions, but of varying degree of, how
Here's the
affordable
game
they are.
plan. I will make potions as I can. Also, I'm just going to be taking time to study alchemy so I can get my 45 points towards expertise in alchemy.
Okay.
But I would like, for most everything, at least 2. The fire resistance, I want to make I know we have the parts for that because the hardest thing to get that is the dragon scale, which we have a ton of now. So I'd say
Yeah.
10 fire resistance.
So of these fire tree resins, I'm looking at your list right here.
Fire resistance takes oat oil, snake venom, crushed dragon scale of a dragon from the fire element. We have.
So how many?
You have 100 dragon scales.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Okay.
is it intelligent saves?
What's that?
Is it intelligence ability or
Check
intelligence
on the
ability?
left side. Give me 6 of them.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So for that potion of fire breathing, I'm just going to make this real simple. So you want 10 of those potions of fire breathing. You are making them for a third of the price.
Hold on.
Or potion
who are you
resistance,
talking
I mean.
to? Yeah.
I'm talking to
Dude.
you.
What? I got parts. I'm buying the parts. The whole reason I made the list and we got the book was so I could make parts. So you tell me how many of the parts I get. I can.
Yeah, and when you buy the parts
Yep.
and then make it, the total cost of supplies is a third of the cost of the potion.
I don't think I did that right.
But since you have that dragon scale, I'm going to make some modifications since you aren't having to get that. We're just going to take it out of your money, and I'm just going to give you the potions based on the rules in the DMG.
Okay. We made a whole alchemy guide for me to get
I know.
all these parts and get all the prices, and I did all this, and then you're gonna be like, nah, we're just not gonna use that. I've been waiting for a fucking year.
It's not what
to
I'm
use
saying.
this.
It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm going to go with a baseline of that, and based on the supplies that you already have, which we made, which would be used for the potion, I'm going to modify the price of the rest of the materials based on what you have, since you do have those materials.
Mm-hmm.
So the materials you have still matter, because it's going to be even cheaper because you already have those materials to get the other materials that you need.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you make potions of fire resistance for a sixth of the price, using up one of your dragon scales that you have for each of those potions.
Sure. All right, and how much would that cost?
So, oh, dude, that's okay. So, a sixth of that's going to cost you 17 gold pieces for each potion. So to get
It's-
10 potions of fire resistance,
It's 16.
is it?
Because, in fact, it should be cheaper. Oat oil is only worth 1 gold. Snake venom is 15. And I already have the crushed dragon scale. Those are the 3 parts. So it costs 16 gold per potion. You see, this is why I broke down the whole math thing already.
Yeah.
I told you I
See,
made
it's
this
funny
easy
that
for you.
It's funny that the numbers work out so well like that too,
Yeah,
because
but you just guessed that one randomly. I'm saying, but I made a whole chart. Use the chart.
I know. So
All
yeah,
this time and effort.
16, which is a sixth of the price since you already have these materials. So see, the materials you have matter because it deducts from the total price.
Okay.
So for 160 gold, yeah, you get 10 potions of fire resistance.
All right. How many oat oils and snake? See, the idea here is not just to be able to make these potions right now. And this is why I apologize, Nick, because I told you this was going to be super boring. That's why I didn't want to make you guys have to go through this part.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
you let me know when your stuff is done, so you can just take over, because I don't want to have to force you to listen to all this.
I rolled my rolls and I accidentally clicked wisdom on some of them. But that first original one, I did that wrong. But so there's 3 20s.
Yeah, so you've got 3 great successes.
Nat 20s.
You've got 3 great successes.
Oh,
Okay,
Dude,
I
so
will
many
count one
nat
of those.
20s. This is like number 5 for you now this session.
No, it's like 6.
Is it?
Because I rolled 2 when I was doing a persuasion check. I think I got a 20, and then a perception check I got a 20, and then that's 3 more. So actually, that is fine. Never mind. That's fine.
Dude, how do you make 6 rolls and 3 of them are nat 20s?
Fucking no.
All right, so
Dude, I swear.
I'm gonna give
Okay,
you something
so-
extra for that because that's just.
I will say one of those is a wisdom, and it needs to be -1, so it's a 22.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So it's a 17. The 17 is supposed to be a 16, but you know.
Because normally, there's no critical successes on skill checks, but for getting 3 of those, I have to give you
That's pretty
something
crazy.
extra.
Shade.
So okay, you're doing this for 45 days. How many points
Pretty
do you
much.
have left for each of your skills?
So hold on, let me go to my notes. So I've got 6. So on the suppressor research, I've got 16 points into it. Sniper
Okay.
scope, I've got 35,
Out of-
and that 35 out of 50, and then the suppressor is 16 out of 100.
Okay, so for this, I'm gonna give you. Normally, this would just be 2 points per day per week, so 14 points in a week, so 42. I'm gonna go ahead and give you 1.5 times that, so that's 63 points just from the 3 weeks that you got the nat 20s on. Then 1 week wasn't that great, but I'm just gonna count the other 2 weeks as normal successes. So that is 86 points that you can distribute among your skills that you are developing.
Okay. So I'm gonna finish the scope. I'm done with that. So minus 35. And okay, so it gives me 51 or wait, hold up, I didn't do that right.
Oh, the other thing, when you're developing stuff like that, it does cost you a gold a day. So,
Okay, that's
fucking
fine.
45 gold minus, but
I made 510 gold just in the downtime.
yeah.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, so put that back up there. Okay, so all right, you can go back to what you're doing. I'm gonna do the math on this stuff.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, for 160 gold pieces and for wait, how many of the materials do you have already? Because if you have all the materials, it costs you nothing.
Yeah, so this is why I'm buying the materials that you keep fighting me on here.
It's not that I'm fighting you. It's that I know you made it as simple as you could, but
So here's my thing. I get that you're trying to wrap this up and whatnot.
that's
I got
not what
you,
I'm
man.
trying to do. What I'm trying to do is like, I know you have each of these materials, but I don't have a reference point for how much of each of these you need.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you. So
Okay.
So the reference from the guide is I only need one of these things for
One
any
component
recipe.
part per
Yeah.
potion, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Then
That
that
is
that does some clarification. So
yeah.
anytime
Everything
you
in
tell
there.
me the recipe for a potion, it's just going to be inferred that it's one of each.
Yes.
Okay. That clarifies some of my confusion.
So that's why I broke it down to one component part, not the ounces and pinches and the da 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 da.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
So
So
like
then
the ball of monstrosity, that is one testicle from a monster per potion.
And are you like using time to go hunt these monsters?
If I can,
Or just
yeah.
buying? You can, sure.
Whatever I have in my allotted time frame. So, because that's why.
Give me 6 attack rolls with whatever fucking spell you want. This is per week.
Okay, well then sure.
Okay. So while he's doing that,
Okay.
I completely finished my sniper scope. That's there. It's on. Now, I'm gonna put it on my rifle.
Okay.
Can I say I make 2 and put in my ionizer and put on my rifle?
No, you got 1, but I'll make it take half the time to make the next one, since you already know how to do it.
And I just got kicked out of fantasy grounds again.
Yeah,
Anyways,
fucking hell.
it's all good. I now have 87 points in my suppressor research.
And how many do you need? 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need barely any more to finish that one off, which that's fine. I'll finish that one. It's gonna be easy. Now what we need to do is get together and talk about my rifle build. So I was thinking
You're trying to build your sniper rifle, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, so what I was gonna do is I was gonna take my original rifle, my original +1 rifle or whatever, and just have that progress with me as we go on.
You want to modify that rifle?
Yeah, I just want to keep modifying, and then if the final end goal is to have my big giant boom rifle.
So, as a tinkerer, that'd be pretty easy for you to do. All you know is that you would just have to obviously increase the width of the barrel. So you'd probably have to replace the barrel on your rifle.
Okay.
You just want to use higher caliber bullets, and you want to extend the weapon and extend the barrel for the purpose of accuracy, and reinforce it so it can actually withstand the force of those shots. Then that's not going to take much time at all. The most important thing is attaching that scope to it, which you have now. As you see in front of you this really cool looking rod with a series of what almost looks like monocles, these little glasses that fold up, and you have a little switch on it, and when you flip the switch, it just goes as these series of magnifying glasses that are all perfectly aligned with each other all flick up, and when you look through it, it's better than any telescope you've ever looked through.
Nice. Bet. That's awesome. Okay, cool. And then, of course, the suppressor, which will be added on eventually.
Yeah.
Later.
So what I'm going to do with the suppressor is essentially, whenever you put it on a weapon, I'm going to downgrade its damage dice by 1, but then just make it where the weapon doesn't make any noise. Because right now, your weapons, when you fire them, has kind of the same, can be heard from kind of the same range as like a thunder wave, right? Now it's going to be more comparable to like a bow and arrow.
Okay. And question, are they going to still be able to know where I'm at if I shoot them?
They will, because if somebody shoots somebody with a bow, they're going to know where you're at. But if you're in a building full of hostile enemies, they're not all going to rush you when they hear the thunderous crack after you fire the gun.
True. Okay. So just the person I shot's going to know where I'm at.
Yeah, just the person that's a good way of putting it. When you shoot somebody, when you make an attack against a person that you're hiding from, if you hit them, they know where you are. But the way you are right now, when you fire a shot at all, everybody knows where you are.
Yeah.
Again, it's like it's going to follow the same rules of like a bow and arrow now at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. And so are we going to make it a bonus action to take it off and put it back on, or interact with objects
Yeah, I'll let
to
you.
put it
I'll
on?
let you do it as an interact to take the
Okay.
thing off. Now, if you're talking about, yeah, I mean to just pull it out of your bag and attach it, that's just an interact because you're only doing one thing.
Yeah.
So, if you were doing
And
two things, like if you had, say,
Yeah.
you had two suppressors for whatever reason, not that you would, and you were to take
Yeah.
one off, put it in your bag, and grab another, that's your bonus.
Gotcha.
But I assume once you grab
Okay.
it and put it on, it's probably staying on for the rest of the combat, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, okay, yeah, I could see that. Because, like, if we're fighting a bunch of people, I'm going to want to have it on. If we're not, I don't want to have it on.
Yeah.
So if I put it on, I'm most likely going to keep it on.
But if, like,
Okay.
for example, you were to go, I'm going to put it on, take my shots. Okay, now I'm going to take it off. That's your bonus, because you just did two things. Two interacts.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I would probably take it off the next round for my bonus action and not take it off that round.
True, and that's how you can
That would-
manipulate action economy. Welcome to D&D.
Yeah. So that's how I would do it. I'm like, why would I waste a bonus action when I can use that bonus action to reload,
Yeah.
move, something like that, or hide again. Because now, I mean, like you even said, like there's a lot of people that don't know what to do with their bonus action. Now I've got plenty of things I could do. I could reload. I could, hide, disengage, whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
All right, I'm loading back into the game. If you want to do Tony's stuff, how much money
Sean's.
do I need? Yeah, Sean's. How much money do I need to subtract off of my buttload of shit ton of money? Well, not yet. It's a buttload of shit ton of money, but definitely a good amount.
Let's
It's like
see.
47?
Just yeah,
Or 40,
like
40,
45.
45. Okay, that works. All right, and then I'm
Yeah.
gone. I'm gonna hit the hay.
All right, man.
Y'all can go back to what y'all doing.
All right, sounds good. All right, hold on 1 second. All right. So let's go through your thing. All right, so you're wanting to make like at least... Oh, I see what you did here. Hold on, Mary's calling me. Mary wants me to help her bring in groceries.
All right. So what are we doing?
Oh, can you not hear me?
I heard Mary wants you to help bring in groceries.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that real quick.
Are we calling?
That's up to you. Do you want to wait for me to come back?
I've been waiting for 6 hours to do this.
I know. Okay. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Nope, man.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay. Be right back.
Alright. There's no point in keeping this on the stream. I'm killing the stream.
Yeah,